Asa.
Why don't we just do
Hey
Dave,
everybody,
Mike,
welcome to
Eli?
Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. I'm Nerdarchist Ted, and we're here to play some Dungeon World. And our illustrious GM will introduce what's going on, how this all works, and whatnot.
I don't know about how it all works, but I'm Asa. I am one of the staff writers with Nerdarchy, and I'm going to be GMing Dungeon World today for these fine gentlemen. And they're going to go through and just explain who they are, and after we explain our characters, then we'll talk about their bonds with each other. So go ahead and explain who you're playing today, Mike.
I am playing Tassel. At second level, I'll be a half elf, but I'm not sure how that works. A ranger. Got a cougar as an animal companion.
I'm playing Volstan, human cleric, rather boisterous fellow. And I'm Eli.
Eli
Of
can,
Elfbait fame.
Eli can be found over on the YouTube channel Elfbait.
Yeah.
I'm Nerdarchist Ted, as you may or may not be aware. I will be playing Salvex Ignatius Monder, the salamander emulator. Yeah.
And I'm Kurt. I'm playing Yaya, the feral halfling fighter with his mighty spear.
All right. So take a second and explain. So bonds are ways your characters know each other that sort of set up the backstory leading up to our current adventure. Each bond is a connection you have with a character, and every time one is completed, which is just when you and the other player decide, hey, this bond has now changed. You each get an experience, you write up a new bond, and that is one way you earn experience. So go ahead and start talking about your bonds and how you guys are connected with one another.
Same order.
Yeah, same order.
All right. So Volstan is a friend of nature, so I will be his friend as well. Salvex has no respect for nature, so I have no respect for him. And Yaya does not understand life in the wild, so I will teach him.
All right. So Tassel has insulted my deity, and I do not trust him.
Unintentionally.
Well, yes, we have a difference of opinion on nature. And Salvex is a good and faithful person, and I trust them implicitly. And Yaya, I'm working on converting to my faith.
And what is your faith again?
My faith is agriculture, kind of fertility, in the nature bounty sense. So,
The goddess of bees.
well, yes, Breda, the sister of bees. Yes.
So Volstan has felt the hellish touch of fire, and now they know my strength.
It was a terrifying experience.
You had like a city or something burned down around you.
Yeah, I witnessed the sacking of the great city and the burning of the great library there.
Show us on the city where the fire touched you.
Pretty much, yes.
So
right there in the library.
So I will teach Tassel the true meaning of sacrifice, as as I have done with all of the arcane brands that litter my scales. And then I have casted something in the fire for Yaya, and still owe them their due, because during the caravan trip that we're on, he has saved my life.
Nice segue. So yeah, Salvex owes me his life, whether he knows it or not. I have sworn to protect our cleric, Volstan, but I worry about the ability of Tassel, the frail, woodsy elf, to survive in the deep beneath where we are traveling.
Oh, that's because that must be premonitions, because you know how Mike rolls.
Mike, what's your animal's name?
Ah, crap. Do you have any idea how long it took me to come up with my name? Whiskers. Let's call her Whiskers.
All
There
right.
Whiskers.
That's important.
I got to write
All
that
right.
down or I'll forget.
So the four of you have been traveling together for some time, taking odd jobs. The latest was as caravan guards, heading to the Wraithwind Pass. It's a dwarven road beneath a mountain. It connects the small elven city of Etten Hollow with a human encampment of Leyden, and it's a trade route. So you guys were traveling with your caravan when it was suddenly attacked by goblins, ambushed by goblins, and you guys got separated from the caravan itself. And in hopes that you would find it again, you kept on the path towards the dwarven road. Coming up on the foot of the mountain, you approach this large carving in the side of this cliff, and it's shaped in the very angular dwarven style. It's shaped in the face of a dragon with a large open mouth. Two 10-foot tall golden doors stand inside this mouth, and one of them is open a couple of feet wide. The area around you is unsettlingly quiet, and the ground is torn apart as if there was a recent battle.
Battle!
Can we see anything in the markings of the battle? Are there fallen bodies?
There aren't any fallen bodies. And it looks like... Okay, I'll tell you what. This looks like a roll time. Roll me a discern realities check.
Him or everybody?
And while you're doing that, I will explain what that is.
Intelligence?
It is wisdom. So discerning realities, it's pretty much your spot check, your listen check. You're checking out the environment around you, trying to figure out what you can learn from it. In this moment, we roll 2d6, and then add your wisdom modifier.
That is a 7.
So you've got a 7, which means you can ask one of the following questions in the discern realities list, and I must answer it honestly.
That's a first.
It's a hard game to run, man. Got to be honest all the time.
So what page is that? And I'll look at the list.
66.
It's taking me a while to get there.
All right. No worries. I think the beginning is just going to be catching up with how to play the game.
Or learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played.
So I'm going to go, I could say what happened here recently, but you've already revealed that it's been a battle. So I'll say what here is not what it appears to be.
Oh, okay. So as you're looking through all of this, you notice there aren't any actual bodies, but there are a few pieces of cast-aside armor, and everything is Dwarven. But from what you can tell, these parts are notorious for goblin raids, and it's not an area where Dwarven clans battle each other. So to see only dwarf on dwarf battlements is a bit odd.
Are there different footprints? Can we discern, knowing that this is a dwarf area and that we ourselves were attacked by goblins, can we see dwarf and goblin evidence?
If only we had a ranger who could hunt and track.
Indeed.
You get bonuses with this realities with your pet. So there are deep footprints in the mud that are set as if they are trained and able-bodied, and then there are some clumsy sort of scrapings that look to be about the same size. So kind of like someone who's not adept in whatever it is that they're currently doing. Try to find a good way of explaining that without giving away too much.
So it appears that the goblins have set upon dwarves in this land.
Are these any sign that this is our caravan?
That's a good question.
Any obvious wagon tracks or anything like that, or mule tracks or anything like that?
Are you guys going to take quite a while checking this area out?
Sure.
I
Before
would
we
think so.
step through the big dragony doors, yes.
So,
And
you
Yayo's no
guys,
good at tracking. He'll just keep watch so that in case the goblins come back.
you guys take a look around and kind of spread out towards the bush, towards the forest surrounding the entrance, and you find one of the wagons that was part of your caravan has been smashed to pieces, and next to it is the corpse of one of the horses.
It's
It
not
looks
the
like-
ale cart, is it?
It is not.
Excellent.
Uh,
Oh, the horse is how dead is how long has the horse been dead? Is it still edible?
its body is still warm.
That's what's really important.
Yeah.
Well, then carve off a piece.
All right. No, this wagon, it looks like it mostly held dwarven arms and armaments.
And is now empty.
Yeah, mostly.
Is there anything of value?
Oh yeah, there are some pieces of armor or weaponry that might be useful.
I said of value.
Oh, no, not to you. I mean, these were trade goods, but probably not valuable to you since you're.
And there's
solid.
no bodies of people or folk of any kind.
I would say you're taking some time. So yeah, you guys keep exploring and you find a spot where a lot of bodies have been, not a lot, but bodies have been drug in and placed in this hollow ditch, probably a couple 100 feet from the dwarven, the entrance to the dwarven hold. Amongst those bodies are the caravan leader, Martin, along with several of the other tradespeoples. And they look like they've had a few chunks bitten out of them.
I didn't do it.
There are no dwarves
Not me.
amongst them, or goblins either.
So, Volstan, I know how faithful you are. Should we say some words?
Oh, most definitely.
Maybe make this their pyre?
You want to light them a flame?
We don't really have time to bury. There's no real remorse at that statement. It comes across, almost joyous.
Volstan will contemplate for a moment and then smile wryly. Let
Yes,
their good
roast them
ashes
before we eat
nurture
them.
the earth.
So, I'm sorry for the sacrifices that you have made, but perhaps you will be born anew. And I, gesture to Volstan to say as he will.
Few words. Blessed Breda, let these poor unfortunate souls go to the earth so they may nurture further the plants and the beasts of the land. Yeah, Master Salamander.
I'll, break off, some wood from the caravan and, build build some wood around them. I will see if I can actually summon this.
Are you sanctifying the area, cleric?
Yes,
So
I would be.
takes me a moment of concentration, but then a sword entirely of fire springs into my hand, and I thrust into the wood and ignite, and just watch and smile as the fire begins to consume. My eyes alight at the growing flames. I'm standing far too close to the fire for normal person, and kind of wiggle my snake tail even closer, and kind of almost look like I'm ready to hug the flames as it rises over the bodies.
Don't overcook it.
We can't eat it.
Why not?
Well, I guess you can. I'm not.
You'll notice that Yaya's teeth are filed to points.
Points.
Of course.
If you need the meat, eat the horse.
He already did.
As the flames
Done.
rise, Volstan will say quietly a greater litany, thereby sanctifying the pyre.
Yaya, you hear large, heavy crashing sounds from the woods, off in the opposite, not in the direction that these people are burning bodies, but still further away. I'm terrible at explaining distance.
A ways off.
A ways off in the woods.
Yay far.
About yay far. There.
Hey!
Gone.
Big people, something's coming. So Yaya will shout to the other the big people, that something's coming, and prepare his spear and his chitinous shield.
Kind of stammer out of my words of prayer. Something large.
It appears that Whiskers is moved from tassel screen to the GM screen. We've got a.
You have an animal companion.
I have a bunch of them. That's the one you'll see.
I had to evict them from the
Whiskers.
garage.
Oh yeah. I had to evict my kids from my room, which doesn't happen often. But...
So what comes this way?
Would you guys like to try to discern that, or do you want to wait and see what stumbles through the woods?
Let's see if our ranger has anything to say or see.
You're a man of the wood. Do the woods thing.
You
Michael?
would say that.
Would you like to roll the discern realities?
Sure.
There's
So
currently too much wood in this game.
I'm gonna let that one go.
Yeah, I was biting my tongue too.
So this large thing is coming through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Is it making any noise as it approaches, or are we just hearing the break of trees and?
You're hearing heavy thuds and the crunch, the crack of trees.
No bellowing or anything.
Do I
Hold
just
on.
add my wisdom modifier to that? Is all?
Yes.
That will be
Plus your animal's cunning.
animals cunning. Crap, where'd that go? Oh, then it's a 14.
Oh, nice. So you get to ask me 3 questions from the discern
Oh, great.
list.
I don't have the list.
So
I can try to look it up.
I will just go ahead and answer answer this question in as much information as you
All right,
need.
so you've got what happened here recently, what is about to happen, what should I
That
be on
one.
the lookout for,
Yeah.
what here is useful or valuable to me, who's really in control here, and what here is not what it appears to be. So what is
right.
about to happen, and what should I be on the lookout for? I would definitely recommend.
So you catch or your animal companion catches the whiff of something in the air that just it smells like 10 nerdy dudes in a con who haven't showered for a week. And you instantly recognize that as the unwashed filth of an ogre. And any minute now, a probably 9 to 10 foot tall ogre is going to come crashing through the forest, looking to get a hold of the burning meat.
All right, I will say something big and smelly is coming from Ogre there.
Yaya will try to climb a tree so that he can be death from above when the ogre shows up.
All right.
And then I'll pull my bow.
I will pull my shield from my back and my mace from my belt.
Are we still next to the pyre?
I imagine so.
Then I will await in the flames.
Say, hide in it.
Hide in the flames.
If only I was so fortunate.
No. That's what I do. I get
I
into the
know.
pyre.
I know. I can't do that. It has dire consequences.
Oh, you can.
Well, you got
one.
So I will stand near the flames, near the pyre still, knowing that we have a fire throwing salamander nearby. So I will be ready to back up the party, basically.
I would like to hide behind the base of a tree and have my cat climb the tree, so hopefully she can pounce on the ogre when it comes near.
So everybody's hiding. Okay. Well, in that case,
Everyone's
I'm not going to stay out in the open. I'm going to tuck myself back behind a rock nearby. I thought we were getting tactical positions, not hiding. Okay.
Well, mine happens
hiding
to
is
be
tactical.
both.
That's true.
You're a bait for the elf.
Ogre
That's what
bait.
I was put in this world to do.
All right. So a moment later, one of the small trees just in front of the clearing that leads to the where this pyre is at gets like shoved to the ground as a large, ugly humanoid creature comes into view, going, "Me smell meat." And then he locks eyes on the thing inside of the pyre and go, "You look tasty," pointing at Salavex. Then he grabs that tree that he bushed over and rips it from the ground. And you guys can all act now. There is no initiative in Dungeon World, so you can go in whichever order seems the most fitting.
All right, so
Hack and slash.
So I'm going to do Zuko style, and since I now have this burning pyre, around me, I'm going to ask the flames to leap out and spring upon our ogre friend, or lack of friend. So that is a 9. So the effect is short-lived. So I guess it's just a burst of the flame. So is that just standard damage?
Yes. Yeah, it's like a one-time hit.
So that is a 6.
I need to open up my windows again. All right, so who wants to go next?
Oh, I'm poised to attack. Jump out of the tree and
All right, so as the ogre like steps forward with his club and you just engulf him with flame, you're stepping down and dropping on him?
yeah.
Go for it. Make me a roll.
That's a 6 plus 2 is an 8.
Okay, so normal hack and slash moves. You can decide the thing that's going to happen here. You're going to hit him, and then you're going to draw unwanted attention. No. With hack and slash, he just hits you back. My bad. With hack and slash, he just hits you back on that. Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
that's 5 damage, but if he has armor, it has 2. My weapon has 2 piercing.
Okay. So you drop down on his shoulders and start stabbing him, and he's able to grab you and tear you off of him and slam you into the tree.
Can I try to get out of the way of his maw with my small size?
You are not able to defy danger on this one because this is in response to this is his reaction to your attack. Like it's
Fair enough.
Yeah. So you take 1d8 plus 5 damage.
Holy crap.
Oh yeah.
Do you roll that or do I?
You
roll
do.
it.
Yep.
All right. Let me get a D8 out.
Master.
Sorry, it's how much again?
1d8 plus 5.
All right. That's a 7 minus 3 is 4.
Okay.
Minus 3 because of my armor. And
Okay.
shield.
And then do you add the 5?
Yeah, I rolled a 2. 2
Oh,
plus
okay.
5 is 7 minus 3 is.
Perfect. I thought you rolled a 7. My bad. Okay. So
That would hurt.
as he's like pushing you against this tree, you feel his strength start to like wane a bit as the fire continues to wrap around him, and he kind of drops to his knees, dropping you to the ground, and he starts bubbling something in what seems like a mixture of common and goblin or whatever ogres speak, before he just kind of crumbles to the ground, breathing heavily but not really moving anymore.
Oh, this is my favorite. Pre-cooked.
So it stops moving.
Yes, he's still alive. He's still breathing pretty heavily, and like, but he's not able to get up and move around anymore.
Should we leave him be or put him out of his misery?
Ranger, finish him.
All right, fine. I'll shoot him.
We should absolutely destroy this body.
So, is shooting still hack and slash, or what is?
Volley.
Shooting is volley, but you don't need to roll to hit him. He's just laying on the ground, dying. So,
Perfect.
yeah, you put an arrow between his eyes.
I'll
He ceases.
triple tap him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you hurt?
A little bit.
Well,
Just a flesh wound.
no. Don't discount only the minor injuries. They can go deep. Come closer, boy.
What?
Why? That I might
don't
heal
know.
you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Somebody
I always get nervous when clerics ask me to come closely.
Very well.
All right. And Yaya will go over to the cleric. He's fought with him before. He knows what he can do.
Yes, I promise not to proselytize to you while I'm healing you. So you have your. I'm actually going to offer him, actually my healing potion.
No,
Doesn't
don't
want to
do
keep
that.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Healing potions are 10 hit points, and he's only down 4.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't give a lot of information. So in that case, I will use magic. I'll cure light wounds.
There we go.
Just trying not to commune again. So it's going to be a D8 healing. All right.
Well, you don't lose the spell if you cast it. Well, depending on how you roll.
So let's see. I'm just looking at what's going on
So
here.
I believe I have to actually roll to cast. If I'm remembering the brief on the. So that's going to be to cast a spell. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. Brand new to me for the most part. So it looks like a D10. Roll wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh no, 2d6 plus wisdom. Sorry about this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Dice mechanic is all sorts of messed up. It's going to be 3, 4.
You rolled a 4?
I rolled 4 with my modifier.
Okay. So,
Oh boy.
good job being the first failure of the night.
Yeah.
XP.
You gain 1 XP because you failed a roll. And
What,
I
you mean
do
I can actually
believe
level up in this game?
you can. You, Mike, are going to do so very well.
That's the beauty of this game. That is the beauty of this game.
Whenever you fail to roll, whenever you roll under a 7, you gain an experience point and fail whatever you're doing.
Unfortunately, I must not have said all the words right.
Yeah, somewhere in there you got a little tongue-tied, and it's like you get this mental image of your god as just like your wife when she's mad at you, and she just starts giving you the cold shoulder.
Great. The goddess of bees is mad at me.
Right. You hear not the buzzing of her pleasure with you. Anyway, that's weird. I want to go from there. Mike, Tassel, you realize that the ogre was on fire for a short time, and then he kind of fell to the ground, and some of the leaves around him caught pretty quick, and that fire's spreading a little bit.
What do I have to roll to try to put it out?
Why don't you make me a defy danger check?
Is that still 2d6?
It is still 2d6, and you may choose what stat you're using to put it out. You just got to justify it with me.
I will use dexterity and just run around really fast, like throwing dirt and stuff on it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
That will be a 9.
Okay.
I like D6s.
Okay, so I will let you put it out with your body,
Stop, drop, and roll.
which means you'll take some damage.
Okay.
Or you can do this effort to stifle a bit of the flames, but not fully put it out, and the fire will continue to spread.
I'll take the hit.
All right. Roll me a d6 of fire damage.
6.
All right. You finding the dirt's not doing any good. You drop yourself on it and start rolling in the flames to put them out and burning yourself.
Perfect.
Looks good, man. You've got some nice burns up your arms and on your hands. But the fire's out.
I'll snake down my way towards the elf, or mostly elf, whatever he is, and I'll come in and inspect the wounds.
I'm 2/3 elf.
On your mom's side.
Yeah.
He's been burned.
It has been a long time since that happened to me. You see that there's like no signs of burn marks anywhere on my body after coming out of the flames. You could have just asked me to put it out.
Nonsense. You have no respect for nature. You wouldn't put it out to save a forest.
So, having rolled so poorly, I still have access to the spell, correct?
I don't believe that there's anything that says it automatically goes
Yeah,
away.
it's like 7 and 9 is when I'm in danger of losing it, but so okay, cool.
Yeah, I think I could make a decision for that, but I'm not gonna. I'm safe. You're
Right.
fine.
Well, because I think the ranger may need healing.
Yeah, probably.
I have 1/3 of my health left.
Only 1/3. Oh, you're okay. So I'm gonna wander on over. I'll put my shield back on my back and hook my mace from my belt again, so and kind of trundle over. The corpulent priest moving his way towards the ranger. All right, well. Let's see, what have we here? Oh, quite the burn. You can stop and drop and even roll to put those out. Well, next time. So I take my holy symbol up and start saying a few words of wisdom again to my god. S. And this time I've got a 11. So that's going to be... Yep. So I cast the spell and it's not revoked.
Okay. Yeah. So you cast the spell. Your god is not as upset.
Yes. Clearly, the second time was the charm. I got the words right this time.
Bees start buzzing again.
Yes.
The early
Unfortunately, I only heal for a single point of damage because
It's better than I had.
clearly dice hate me when I'm rolling for Fragging.
Don't worry.
Obviously, dice hate me when I'm rolling for Fragginator too.
He's going to be rolling high today, so.
So yes, I got the spell right, but I think she's still mad. So,
In terms of hit points is the number it says plus your Constitution number, not your modifier.
Yes.
So you may actually have more hit points than you think you have.
yeah,
I
I have
do.
24. I have 24. So
There we go.
you are doing better.
Already, it worked.
All right.
Praise be.
He
Although
not
Yayo
only
wants to ask the cleric why it worked for him, not me.
Well, my
Is
diminutive
your
friend.
goddess racist?
No, perhaps you just don't believe enough. We'll talk about this.
We're compadres in the respect for nature.
Yeah. Represent.
Apparently not very much. Just a little bit.
All right. So, momentary pause while I think of where to go from here.
So, if
Big
Tassel,
gold dragon doors.
should you want scars burns brands like mine, it can be arranged.
You can already see how these burn marks build themselves into the perfect pattern.
We'll stick a pin in that for later.
I'm telling you, I will teach you about sacrifice. And I'll snake over to Volstan, and I shrug off the pouch that's on my hip, and if need be, I do have a few potions.
Keep those, my friend. We may need them yet. I very much doubt that this ogre is the last of our troubles.
But troubles are how one grows.
Indeed, I'm quite tall enough.
I take in a deep breath and snake myself a little bit higher, and head over towards the open mall door and take a look in and look back at the companions. Are we heading in, or are we heading on?
I'm sorry, how much damage did the elf take again?
6.
So 5.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, dangerous outside. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, you guys step through the golden doors and into the entrance of the Dwarven road. And the first thing you notice is that sitting against, like, at the crux of the door, where the hinge is at, on the inside is a dwarf in full metal armor, and it looks like she is dead, but very, very recently, like within the last few minutes, dead.
Oh, wow. So
Medic.
dying while we were out here discussing things. Oh, that's horrible.
Like she's wearing full plate?
Yeah.
Would it fit a halfling?
Yeah. I mean, in a very clumsy manner, I would give you the clumsy tag while wearing it, but yeah.
Cool.
Pad up
I start
inside
taking
of
her
it.
clothes off.
Whoa.
I mean armor off.
Volstan's like, what are you doing? Sanctity, some respect for the dead.
She's not using this anymore. I can use it.
He has respect for her armor.
All right. You now. Well,
Volstan, it is merely things. It is the spirit that has passed on.
You make a good point, my scaly friend. It is her body that shall return to the earth, not her metal garb.
So, is the body lying there? Is it propped up against a wall?
she's propped up against the wall in a sitting position.
Is her arm stuck in the hinge and that's why it won't close?
You.
No. That's a bit morbid.
So what could have caused this person to have fallen so close to where we are, and we not hear a thing?
Roll me a discern realities check.
9.
All right. Ask me a question. So your question is, what happened here? What happened here is as Yala, I cannot say
Yaya.
Yeah.
Yaya. As Yaya is undressing the dead dwarven woman, you see a gash.
Oh, she is dead. Okay.
You see a gash in her side, just between the where there's a gap in the armor, and it looks terribly infected. And it's pretty nasty. Like whatever caused that wound just tore up the flesh.
This appears to have fallen by some vile weaponry. It does appear weapon, not magic, right?
Yeah, it's weapon, definitely.
Or a
weapon.
claw. Does it look like his claw or tooth, or is it hard to tell?
It could be either. It could be a weapon, or it could be like claws. but it's a single gash, not multiple.
Claws tend to strike in groupings, and if we look, it appears to be a fine line, whereas a claw even further tends to tear.
And a claw against metal would have left some sort of shaving.
Okay.
So is there
Continue to take your
is
armor.
there anything else of value on this dwarf?
Yeah, you can pilfer her remains and find a coin purse with 10 gold in it.
Woohoo!
Not quite murder hobo, but looting hobo.
She
I'm just a
has
hobo.
no need of it now.
All right. So I'm gonna take the assumption that you guys are gonna continue down the hall, unless you tell me otherwise.
Is the Dwarven highway illuminated in any way, or?
You are a dwarf. You should know this. Why don't you?
I'm a human.
Oh, you're human. Okay. I thought you were a dwarf. All right.
I'm just 5 foot nothing.
I will tell you what. I'm gonna let you roll me a spout lore check, and
Okay.
with that, I can tell you something interesting and useful, or I can tell you something interesting.
Interesting.
You make it useful.
Do I would say, so is that a wisdom or an intelligence?
Intelligence. This is
Okay.
you digging into your knowledge of the dwarven roads and telling your companions about it
Very
as
well.
you guys walk.
All right, so I rolled a 6.
Okay. I would like you to make up something. It does not need to be true.
It's made of real dwarves.
I hear tell that some sections of this highway are paved with the very shields of the fallen foes defeated by the grand armies of the Dwarven Kingdom.
But the ground is clearly stone.
Well, maybe not here, but some places.
This does not change the fact that the further you move down the hold, the darker it gets.
So, is there dark vision in this game?
Salvex, just flame on.
Exactly. We have a fire lizard. Come on.
Well, I'm just asking a rules question. I do summon forth. This time I'll decide to call a spear. And
Salvex,
that's a
perch upon my
13.
mace.
Nothing I've come across tells me that there is dark vision.
Okay, so I got a 13 on my burning brand. So I call forth a spear of flame.
Oh yeah.
If you do not wish to be burned, I would take a step back.
I take 3.
So you may now choose 2 of the following tags for that brand as well.
Okay.
It can either be hand weapon, thrown or near, +1 damage.
It already has hand, thrown, near, +1 damage.
Those are not its starting tags. Those are
Oh.
the tags you can choose from.
Oh, okay.
Its starting
Yeah, that'd be
tags
neat.
are fiery, touch, and dangerous.
Okay, my apologies.
That's okay.
So I will go. I'm not gonna remove the dangerous tag. That's not me.
Okay.
So I will go with the thrown and +1 damage.
Okay. So as you illuminate, it's a spear, right?
Yeah.
So as you're illuminating the spear, the other 3 of you start to feel the heat coming off of Salvex, and you're concerned that if you get too close, you could actually get burned.
I did say step back.
Very well, very well. How bright is the light from his fire spear? Is it like torchlight bright, or?
I would say it's probably 2 torchlight brightness.
So like
Because
60 foot.
Yeah,
I'd call it 60
because
foot. Yeah.
clerics have a rote spell light.
yeah, so I was to say I could offer light spell without fiery damage, but he beat me to the punch. So
Mm.
Well, the
But that
problem
means
with
he's
his
ready.
weapon. The problem with his weapon is once he uses it, it might go out.
yeah, so I will actually cast a continuous light spell, a rote, not a spell. Allow me to supplement the illumination.
So his weapon has 3 uses. So when he uses it 3 times, it goes out. That's
Okay.
why.
Still though, extra light is probably not going to be
Oh,
bad. So I will I'll take my mace from my hip, which is probably in my hand now that we're going into the dark, and I will illuminate my mace. So it is now functioning with a white light, about as bright as a torch, I believe it says here.
All right.
Yes,
Honey
as bright as a
color?
torch. But I get to pick the color of the light, or the
So you
the color of the flame.
Make
So
it a
it's gonna
black
be
light?
white light. Yeah.
Okay, so we
Black
are
light.
going to.
We rave our way down to the Dwarven hold.
So I am on the lookout for, whatever sinister thing recently felled that female dwarf.
Okay. Yaha, you have been through these roads before.
Oh,
and
good.
you know that dwarves, all dwarven passes are kind of the same. All of them have some keep near the middle, and then usually they are lined here and there with shops that people can trade with as they pass through the road. And it's kind of like a long trading village with a military center. So, do you know where you'd like to go?
Well, we were supposed to take the caravan from Enton Hollow to Leyden, you said at the beginning.
Yep.
And the caravan's been destroyed.
Mhm.
So, and presumably the cargo's been taken.
Well, there is some armor and weapons back there.
And that was only one of the wagons.
Yes.
So,
We could escort a group back here to get the stuff if we were to, find somebody. I'm certainly not carrying it.
No.
so it seems to me what we need to do is find the missing other wagons and get rewarded for bringing those to our destination.
Okay.
Don't forget about hazard pay.
Yeah.
And the merit of a deed well done.
All right.
I like
So
my
you guys,
well done.
make your way down this massive corridor, and along the sides of the walls are these small glowing phosphorescent lights. Not enough to illuminate anything, but they just kind of move and shape as you walk, and they take the form of certain images, dwarven figures and other like orcs and goblins, and it's like watching constellations battle each other as you're walking down this hall. And for those of you with a moderate intelligence, can kind of tell this is sort of a history lesson of the dwarves conquest of the surrounding area.
Volstan would take particular interest in this, collection of lore and the like for the order, but not gonna tarry too long. But I will certainly pay attention as I'm walking along.
I'd probably just be going, look at the pretty lights.
Now, is there any
Flighty
sign that is there any signs that the wagons came this way?
Go ahead and roll me a discern realities check.
Well, I'm going to ask the ranger to, because he's good at this, and I'm terrible.
In
I'm
theory.
assuming we've got flagstones and stuff here too, so it's not dirt or anything, right? It's an actual finished road.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there might be urine from the goblins that came by.
Yeah, true. Goblin pee, blood.
Goblin scat.
Flagstone is made out of shields.
Yeah,
Right.
well, yes.
They look like
Flagstone
shit.
out of
In
shield.
some places, I hear. Clearly, this is not one of the better off dwarven highways.
So do I add anything but my wisdom?
The cunning
No.
of your creature.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Granger.
So 9.
Okay, ask me a question.
What
Do
was
you
I
have that?
asking again?
Do the wagons go through here?
Does it look like the wagons have passed this way?
It's got to be one of the questions on the discern realities. Where the hell did that go?
Wouldn't
There
that
it
fall
is.
under the category
So-
of does something happen here recently?
Or,
Yeah, that-
Yes.
or what here is useful or valuable to me. Useful does
Yeah.
not necessarily mean item. It could be information.
Yeah, but then
Okay.
I'm going to find a gold.
So, I'm gonna give. I think I'm gonna have the same answer either way. As you as you're kind of like going around and searching the ground more closely, you come across a faint blood trail. It's almost completely like outside your range of view in the dim corner of the where the light reaches, but it sort of goes around a corner and down a little side path. Are you going to follow it?
Do you bring this information to light?
Yes, I will. I will take Volstan and move him, since I'm afraid of getting burned by you, and point at the blood trail. Go. We should follow this. I feel like this is the way to go.
So does the side passage look like a normal part of the highway, or is it cut out of the? I mean, is it like vaulted and have a finish to it, or am I looking at some fissure in the rock that's been opened by the fell powers of the deep?
It's a cut little corridor. There's a couple of these little like outcroppings.
Okay, so little side passages. All right.
Yeah, and they usually lead to, well, I mean, you're gonna head down one, but
hold my glowy mace aloft and take a better look, kind of peek down the hallway.
He should spout lore again to find out where they usually lead.
That's a good call.
That's
I'm
probably
going
a
to
good idea.
spout lore to find out if I'm just walking to the Dwarven privy or not.
Right. Go for it.
Dice everywhere.
That was a good call on the recognizing when a roll should be made and going with it.
I rolled a 6 again.
All right, get an experience. Where do you think this passage leads?
If I was rolling 1d6, I'd be rolling awesome. But I hear that small communities are often found from spouting off from the main highway, sort of like a village or a hamlet, but buried beneath the rock.
So as you turn that corner, it does lead into like a small an opening area that looks like the entrance of maybe a shop or something like that. There's another smaller door, this one not made of gold, and it is wide open, and your light casts right into this room, and you can see like a desk in the center of the room, and laying face down on the desk is a dwarf that, you know, older man, balding. His face is just on his desk. He's not wearing any armor or anything like that.
Yaya was here already. Stripped him.
Mm-hmm.
Does the blood trail go into the office?
Yeah, it leads right up to this body.
So it leads into the shop. So he it leads right up to him, like he crawled here. No.
It does, but he's facing you, like his head. So, but it does lead right up to him.
Inspect him for the same wound.
You're gonna inspect him for the same wound. Okay.
Yeah, why don't we inspect this area?
Yeah,
Who knows what realities we might discern?
I would like to try and discern realities on the desk to see if there's anything of you. Maybe he was scrawling anything or anything like that, leaving a note.
Why don't you roll me that discern realities, and let's see.
That is a
Where
9.
are the rest of you at?
10. That is that's a 9. Straight 9. Excuse me.
Okay.
I've moved in. I'm trying to be cautious of my spear and how close I am to my companions.
Are you all spreading into the shop, or just into the kind of antechamber?
I'm going to approach the desk from the front, so I'm like facing the dwarf as I come in.
Okay.
So I'm going to say I'm still in the antechamber.
All right.
And I'm looking at the body.
I'll take point 2.
Okay.
That was a 9 on my discern realities.
Okay. So ask me a question.
All right. Is there anything of note on the desk? Anything that looks recent or?
So as you step into the room, one of the first things that you notice is the blood trail stops right before the desk in a way that instantly makes it recognizable that this is not his blood trail from crawling here.
Right.
And there's nobody around that looks like they would have made this trail because it stops abruptly. If somebody was dripping this blood, they would have kept spreading it around the room.
Okay.
You get
So-
the sense that this was intentionally planned.
Okay. So I
it's
am
an
going
ambush.
to halt the advance into the room, or at least motion. Hold up, my friends. It appears that this may be a ruse.
No, it's a dwarf. He's dead. Not a ruse.
Yes. Yes, indeed, it is a dwarf. But it appears that this body has been placed here in a fashion that would lead us to believe it crawled here, but the blood trail says otherwise. Because I'm suddenly Brother Cadfile.
Do I see anything else around me? Is there anyone in ambush trying to wait to strike out at us?
Not in the antechamber. No, the antechamber is kind of a small little square stone room with nothing to hide behind.
Can I discern realities on the body?
Um,
Or is that just what Volstan figured
that's
out?
what Volstan just did, I think.
Okay.
So,
I was examining the desk initially, but that's what you gave me as the DM, so the DM's never wrong.
right. Well,
Or GM.
I mean, you could have examined the desk, and then I could just spring the trap on you if you want. I figured you might want to know that there's a trap there first.
Well, so
Nonsense.
the way that I had seen it, he was going to the body and examining the body. Tassel
Oh,
was,
okay.
And I was actually approaching the desk specifically, so it was two separate acts. But
Fair enough.
we can impart that knowledge to Tassel instead of me, and I can get hit with the trap.
No,
that-
don't kill the cleric.
That is definitely true.
We got healing potions.
Well,
Mine will definitely fall to the floor after I'm dead. So
I can tell you, like, if you're going towards the desk itself is just full of ledgers,
okay.
and a few items that are part of his shop.
Okay, so so nothing that looks like he may have left a note or anything. So clearly he didn't do anything before or near his death. It's all just the usual shop books. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
that's useful. I mean, we know
There's
that
a lot of-
we know that he didn't write anything in his his last words, or look out for the goblins, or look behind you, or anything like that. So
Or it's a trap.
And
drums in the deep.
and in Tassel, I'll give you the information that we just talked about because, rather than looking at the body, you look at the odd blood smears, and notice this is not right. So, with that, you guys are aware that something is amiss. So, when a dagger flies by Tassel and buries itself into the desk, it's not a surprise that there are goblins around the outskirts or around like the edge of the room.
So why does it have to be female problems? You said
Whatever.
you said trouble's amiss.
Oh, man.
He also said outskirts, but
Come on, man. Don't point out my latent misogyny. It's an entire accident. Never mind the fact we're all a bunch of dudes playing this. So
I apologize. Go ahead.
all beardy.
we have the Nerdarchy outfit on.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Uniform standard.
Eli's doesn't have
Eli's
the
missing
glasses.
glasses.
I took them off. I should be wearing them actually. It's dim out here.
All right. Yeah, you guys turn around. There are 4 goblins, one at each corner of the room, kind of peeking behind shelves or perched up on top of something.
So Yaya and I are outside the room, and there's 4 goblins in the room with Tassel and Volstan.
Yes.
All right.
Well, that's a thing.
And the antechamber doesn't have a door, but the shop does.
I was gonna say we close the door and let them battle royale it out. What do you think?
Thanks, bro.
I'll leave you in the antechamber and close the door so you don't burn us all down.
Thanks, lizard bro.
Lizard bro.
Just put the lizard in the room with his flamey sword, and then
There you go. It'll be like an oven.
Somebody throw the lizard.
Can I just? I'm assuming that I wouldn't have my bow back out because I didn't know danger was coming. Can I just rip the dagger out and throw it at one of them?
Yeah, for sure.
What do I
Do
do for
that.
that?
That would be a volley.
That is volley still. Okay.
Yes.
That's what Rangers do best.
No, it's not. That's 2 on the dice.
Well, you get an experience as that. All right, so you go to grab the knife and clumsily grab it by the blade, and go to sling it, and then just kind of like just chucking it just because you didn't expect to hurt yourself. Take a D4 of damage.
D4.
And
That's only 2.
yeah, I figured you can only roll so poorly on that. Anybody else want to go?
Oh, I figured Volstan could go because they're both in the room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to swing a shiny mace. Although I believe with light spell lasts as long as it is in my presence. Okay. So I'm going to keep the mace illuminated while I'm fighting, so we have light.
Yep.
And are any of them close enough for me to hit with my mace?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can run up and
You
smack
hit it up in the corner of the room, so I just wanted to make sure. All right, so I will take a few lumbering steps forward and swing my mace with a red-faced huff and try to strike.
All right.
That's 7.
That is a 7, so that's a hit, and he's going to strike you back. Okay. So you swing your mace and just go ahead and roll your damage roll. Sorry, I gotta.
So damage is a d6 plus whatever the mace is. So,
Okay.
which is nothing. So, 3.
Plus strength.
My strength is not enough to give me a bonus.
Okay.
Wait, you add strength to your damage? Cool.
I thought so. I could be wrong.
Hey,
Pretty sure you do.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
I am not the most physical cleric, but 3.
Okay. So you swing and just your mace collides with this goblin's skull. It drops to the ground as another goblin dives on your back and starts clawing at you. Take a d6 of damage.
2.
All right.
So does that negate because he's got 2 armor?
I've got 1 armor, so that would actually be 1 then.
All right, so I move in and stab the guy on his back.
Okay.
I'm using my burning brand, so I use my intelligence instead of strength or dex. So I got double 5s on the dice. That's an 11.
For sure.
I'm going to choose to do the extra d6 damage and put myself at risk.
All right.
So that is 8. It's 9 because it's plus 1 damage. If I'm getting to add my stat bonus, that's 10.
Okay. Yeah, you charge forward with your spear and just burrow it into the goblin on top of Volstan. And the heat radiating off of your spear is so hot that Volstan, you start to feel it burning like across your back and your neck. So take half of the damage that the goblin just got dealt.
Ow!
How much is that?
5.
I think it's 5.
Dangerous.
So 5 damage total?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
As the
be careful with your spear.
As Salvex charges into the room, another one of the goblins from the other end of the room throws a dagger at him, and take a d6 of damage.
All right, I roll a 6, but I'm going to use fighting fire with fire, so I will reduce that by 3.
Okay.
Excellent.
And y'all, would you like?
Yeah. We'll pole vault into the room with his spear, and go after another one of the goblins.
All right.
Well, there's only 1 left. Oh no, there's two left, right?
2 left. Yep.
So that's a 10 on hack and slash, and a lot on hit points. He does 12 hit points of damage.
All right. Are you going to choose the mitigation or the extra damage for the? Did you already do that?
I would, if I can attack 2 with my amazing attack, then I'll do the extra damage.
I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll
All
let
right.
you run up and like smack one as you're running by, and then charge into the other. So
Okay, so I did 12 to the first one, and then I'll use the extra d6 to attack the second one,
okay.
and that's 8.
All right.
Smack,
I'm
smack.
just checking the rules to see about the damage. The damage thing, but yeah.
In the
Anyway.
example, it does say that
Yeah.
it's plus your score.
For the damage. That's what I wanted to check on.
Makes
Okay, yeah. So you charge forward, and you're able to you're going to kill them both. So you can go ahead and tell me how you're going to be doing that.
Well, he pole vaults in, stabbing the spear point first into the one, and using that as a fulcrum to launch him and punch the butt end into the face of the other one.
Okay. So the one that you stab the first time lets out this high pitched screech that just echoes through the hall outside the antechamber. And after you smack the other one at the butt of your spear, just crack him in the face really good, and he crumples to the ground.
Right in the
You
temple.
hear an answering screech, very similar, echo into that comes echoing up the hall.
Oh, good. Screeches in the deep.
Yep.
Yep.
That sounds like there are more.
More?
I will quickly back away so that I'm not too close to Volstead anymore.
All right.
Going to.
I will take point.
All right.
I'll actually pull my bow now.
So, getting a quick glance of the room, there's a door leading, just a small wooden door leading off of the room itself, and it's a decent sized shop for this kind of era, but it doesn't offer much in the way of hiding. So what do you guys want to do?
And there's no other
Can we
exits.
discern which way the sound came from?
Oh, you don't need to roll a roll for that. It came from outside of the antechamber.
Like
but-
right outside?
No. A distance away, but
Well,
it echoed through the halls.
when we go out of the antechamber, there's the way we came and the way we were headed. Does it sound like it's
I see.
behind us, or does it sound like it's from the direction we were going? Because
It sounds like it's from where you were from behind you.
okay,
from where
well
you
then I'm not about here sitting and waiting. So I would suggest we go meet it.
Are you talking?
Sorry,
Eli?
Oh no, I was were people hearing me before?
Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
So
Yeah, sorry, I had audio problems.
I
Although-
suggest we go meet our new challenge.
Cautiously, but indeed, it looks like we have no other recourse. There's no other way out of here.
Then again, this is very defensible.
This is true.
But
They have to come through that door.
Or they could carry on, and who knows what havoc they will wreak further in.
but
My
from-
fiery friend, do you have the
Not
means
my
by which to create a barrier of flame?
I do not.
Hmm.
If we were
Unfortunate.
to ransack this shop, we could set it alight, but there is no exit here. We are trapped. If their numbers are too many, then we will be overrun. We will go down in a blaze of glory. But I prefer options.
Yes, I would prefer to not perish in flame myself. So, do we make exit from here and proceed deeper, or
That is why I say we should go meet them on.
well,
All
we've
right.
done well enough so far.
Let's
What's
go.
another fight?
Kill, kill, kill. So, yeah, we'll charge out of the chamber and go to the main hallway.
Okay.
Everyone keep up with Yaya.
Yeah,
I
you
got
charge.
chicken.
Coming into the main hallway, you can hear now the very unmistakable sound of running feet and clattering armor or metal on metal. It's a distance off in the direction that you came from the entrance of the road itself. And then in the opposite direction, you can see a growing light coming from that area of the road, and that's getting closer and closer also.
Can we make anything out in the light?
Roll me a discern realities.
Discern those realities.
Yep.
Oh, that's wisdom?
Yep.
My dice are doing well tonight. It's an 8.
Okay. So yeah, what's about to happen here? Is that the question you want to ask?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see by the by the faint outline of the light what looks to be squat figures moving in formation.
It appears the dwarves have come out to see what is going on.
Let's pray that they are the dwarves.
They are squat and there is metal. Goblins do not arm themselves so.
Unless they've killed a bunch of dwarves.
From all evidence of the fallen dwarves, they have not taken any armor.
True. So,
All being 50%.
it's, man. Well, shall we go say hello to our dwarvish host?
Should we call back our small companion first?
He's too far away.
It might go poorly for us if Yaya should happen to stick one with his spear.
I would not like him to perish before I can pay my debt.
Very well. Yaya, come back, please.
Okay. Yeah, is right next to you.
Wow, I thought you charged off out the door.
Yeah, I'm out in the hallway.
Oh, I thought you said you went running. My apologies then.
Yeah,
I ran out into the hallway.
I'm very well.
Maybe up a little bit, but
Oh, there you are. You were below
Yaya
the
didn't
line
want to be
of sight.
surrounded, so going by himself, he'll be the first one there, but he doesn't want to get surrounded.
Yeah, you kind of give this shout and then like turn and realize that Yaya's standing right next to you.
Yes, it's. You're short.
Must be the short legs. He's not as fast as we thought he was.
I've been running and running. I just got here. Long
Seems
shanks
a little-
up there.
Seems a little out of breath or something like that.
So let us go meet this host.
Which one? The host of goblins or the host of dwarves?
The dwarves.
Let's try to reach the dwarven line before the goblins get here, or we get caught between the two.
That could be messy.
Mm-hmm. So,
Fine.
to the dwarves then. I trundle out into the hallway.
All right. Yeah. So
So-
you guys.
All kinds of super visible here with light. So whatever the dwarves are gonna do when they start seeing the the giant lizard guy.
Yeah, with the flaming thing.
The
Yeah.
Right.
Flaming spear, long snake tail. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
and
threatening
mace
at all.
held aloft, glowing.
As you charge in the direction of the dwarves and you get close enough.
There's no,
No, we're
charging.
walking. We're walking.
So as we
Wolfgang-
would get within hailing distance, I will say, hail and well met.
The dwarves they call out, "Who goes there?"
Do we have a collective name, or are we just?
Do we know the name of the caravan that we were with?
Yeah, or is there a particular merchant that we were traveling under?
The head of your caravan's
Martin.
name was Martin. Yeah. But aside from that, if you guys have a specific merchant name, go for it. Tell me what it is. Hey, I can't have you that right now.
So greetings. We are guards who got separated from the merchant caravan of the Golden Coin. We were set upon by goblins and, so, as I said, separated from our caravan. And as we are trying to locate them and let them know of the wagon and its wares, we've had further encounters with these goblins, and do believe that there are more even now coming this way.
This be a parlay roll.
This would be a parlay roll.
Parlay.
That's a
Does anyone want to make this? Do you want me to make it?
With
I
my
have a
bonus for
charisma of
my
13.
animal, I am a -1.
I'm a flat roll. If you want to do it, Eli, go for it.
I've got a +1. So,
I think
Volstan will parlay.
all right.
Dwarvish fellows, we represent the caravan of Master Martin, as my kissing
Well-
friend just imparted.
So, one thing about a parlay is if you're trying to get them to do something for you.
Are we?
Yeah, not
Not
kill
kill
us.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Calm
So,
down
yeah.
and see us as friends. That would be the intended action that I am trying to manipulate them to.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Now that I know that, now you can make your parlay roll. And
All right, I rolled a 9 total.
okay,
Parlay.
you rolled a 9. Okay, so one of the dwarves steps towards you and says, "What proof do you have that you are from this golden coin caravan? How do we know you haven't let these creatures in yourselves?"
My good sir, do we look like the sort that would associate with goblins?
You never can be too careful these days.
Meanwhile, Yaya's gnawing on a leg.
Except for maybe
Is
you.
our word not simply good enough?
Are you
I
gobbling
heard-
that leg?
I heard that dwarves were men of honor and trust.
A goblin leg.
Normally, we're willing to trust, but in a moment of invasion, we can't be too careful.
But we're certainly not equipped for an invasion. There are only 4 of us, and I am a mere cleric who offers nothing but honeyed wine and ale. And
Mead.
And apparently equipped for battle with your mace that glows.
and yes, it's dark in here.
Have you brought with you any of this honey wine or ale or mead?
There was a cart full of it.
How many dwarves are in the contingent?
I'd say there's probably about 15 of them here.
Yeah, we could take him.
We clearly do not. You clearly do not have enough to share with all of these fine men.
No, but I believe there was a cart full of good spirits and draft in the merchant caravan.
Well, if we can find that cart, maybe we'll have something to discuss. Maybe that should be our main objective.
Well, that is our objective as well.
Is there word or deed that would solidify the trust?
I think that
I'm going to try to spout lore and see if I
There
can
you go.
recall if there's any universal dwarven friendship. Is there a dwarven version of Ba Weep Grana Weep Mini Ba?
all right. Thank you, because I drew a blank in that moment.
All right. So spout knowledge is intelligence based, right?
Yeah.
6.
Not my best attribute. And 6. What?
That's 3 6s for spout lore, just so you know.
That is 3 6s for spout lore. So, question: do we want to be able to level up at least once in this adventure tonight?
Sure.
Today? Okay.
All right.
So, I'm going to lower the level up cap. Normally, it's 7 plus your level. In this case, I'm going to make it 3 plus your level.
right.
So you only need to get 4 experience to get to level 2.
At this rate, I'm going to be a champion
Now?
of the realm.
Yeah, you've got maybe one more failed roll before you're there.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I got to start rolling crappy.
Yeah, there you go. Start
All
rolling
right,
terribly.
so clearly Volstan recalls the wrong phrase of greeting.
All right.
I didn't pass. No.
So he offers up, an elven handshake, and starts going into this, tirade of elven dance.
This big old court of elvish like just flattery and endearments, and the dwarf's just like, dude, stop, dude, bro.
So, meanwhile, what about the pitter patter of goblin feet behind us?
That's a good question. I was about to get to that. It's getting much closer, and as Volstad is doing his little elven jig that he learned at Etten Hollow, the dwarf goes, "We have no time for this. Get behind our line or fight with us." The goblins are.
I will absolutely fight alongside you.
Yes, I can.
Not too close.
Certainly be willing to support your line.
Yeah, I would recommend not fighting right beside the salamander.
Give him a little bit of space.
Kind of sit there and kind of sway a little bit.
Doing your best Axl Rose.
You turn to see a dozen goblins charging forward in bits and pieces of dwarven armor. It looked like at some point they have it on in the right spots, just not very much of it. And following behind them are four fully head to toe plated in dwarven plate armored people, or creatures, but they are about 6 to 7 feet tall.
So is there flames coming off of my spear?
Yes.
All right. So can I attempt to bend that flame to my will and have it rush out at the leading group?
Yeah.
Well, XP is not coming my way yet. So that's an 11.
Okay. So you're able to spout. I'll take a use of your weapon for this.
Sure.
But you're able to summon a low wall of fire just between in front of where the goblins are charging you. Okay. That spans not the whole thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's a good 20-foot
nice
wall they now need to either go around or charge through. That breaks the line enough that that you now have the goblins splitting into two groups, and the dwarves are able to sort of set themselves up to defend against that.
Excellent.
Who else would like to go?
So I am standing. I'm kind of behind the line, but as he rushes out with his flame, I'm going to shift the light from my mace to sort of an imposing, kind of infernal red color, just to kind of back that play, just try and make us look all the more threatening to the approaching goblins.
For sure.
Now, just to be on the safe, the safe side, so I'm aware, this wall that I've conjured, this is now magical fire, correct?
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. So we got magical firewall and then glowing red mace illuminating the hallway.
I need that clarified because I can't go in the magical fire.
Right.
Out of character, what spells did our cleric prepare for today?
Out of character, I have prepared Sanctuary and Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. Well,
Sanctuary may be a good idea. No, that's actually just alerting things.
End it today.
yeah, that's not going to help.
Oh, it does receive healing within the Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Oh, anyone who receives healing. Okay, cool. So we'd have to actively heal, but it's a healing bonus while Sanctuary. So.
Got it.
Okay. So if we camp.
Right. Well, let's camp. No.
Right now.
So
Flash camps.
What do these larger creatures in the back look like?
They are completely covered in dwarven armor. It's hard to tell.
Could we discern reality on them?
Yeah, I was about to
or is that an action?
Hey, Ranger.
It would be your action, yeah, but you can discern reality.
Well, they're still charging, so
I don't
Yeah.
want to risk hitting dwarves, so I will shoot at the tall ones.
And I believe no, that's not just real. There's one of them that gives you a +1 forward acting on the knowledge that you gain. I don't
Mhm.
remember if that's discern reality or the aid one or the spout lore.
Discern reality. Take on a 7 to 9. Ask only one. Take a +1 when you act when acting on the answer.
Right.
So
So yeah, if you discern realities, it would give you a bonus to your next roll when acting on that knowledge. So it's
Sure.
not entirely useless.
I will try to figure out what those large creatures are.
Okay.
And I will get an 8.
All right, that'll be a
Plus
success.
0.
And I'm guessing that's the question of what here is not what it appears to be.
Yes.
Okay. Well, judging from the gaps in the armor, because it's dwarven armor, and these things are about 6 feet tall, you can see dark green skin. And the weapons they wield are not hammers, but rather vicious-looking, jagged long swords.
So
Okay.
orcs.
So, are they orcs or hobgoblins or?
You're pretty sure they're orcs.
Cool. All right.
So you
Well
have-
then, I'll go after them.
And just another little bit of extra information. There are pretty substantial gaps in their armor because they're not fitted properly.
Perfect. That'll be the +1 ongoing.
Exactly.
yeah.
All right.
+1 forward.
Forward,
Ongoing is a
right.
different term, yeah.
Understood.
Now is that a +1 to anybody acting on that information, or just the person who did the discern reality?
I believe you
It
can
doesn't
grant that
state
to
so.
anyone.
To me, it sounds like one roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you took the time to explain that to your partners, I would say it'd be +1 to the next roll acting on that information. If you
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
say
know.
anything, then
Like,
Sounds like
no
they're
orcs.
charging us. There's not much time.
yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. So Tassel, you said you're going to fire on the orcs.
Yes. No.
XP. Woo.
The 5 total.
Okay. And then also I get to make a choice of what happens when you fail. So volley. Okay. You're going to reduce an ammo by 1. You have 1 less ammo.
Grr.
You take a shot and then go reach for another arrow, and you realize your arrow supply is depleting rapidly.
All right. Well, Yaya will just charge right towards the nearest orc, hopefully, and jump over the fire
All right.
or around the fire, but
I
not
need
through
to
the fire.
Not through the fire. All right. So
Also,
are you going?
So he loses ammo and doesn't get the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he misses, and then I get to choose one of the negative effects.
Man, that sucks.
But he gets an experience.
That's
That's
true.
right. Oh, I already wrote it
He
down.
has learned to carry more arrows.
All right. So if you're going to attack the orcs, you're going to have to either move through the line of goblins on either side of the flames, or go through the flames themselves. So, whichever choice you take, I would like you to roll me a defy danger before you're able to actually make an attack roll against them.
Sure. I'm going to defy danger by pole vaulting over the fire.
All right. Is that going to be a dexterity move?
Strength.
Strength.
Push myself
All right.
up.
Sounds good.
That is a 13.
All right. Yeah, you are able to dive over the flames. I do not know if you get a bonus to that or if it's just, hey, you do it. And you get to make your attack.
All right. Attack. Woo.
Threat doesn't come to bear. Yep.
9, 10. 10.
Okay. So you pole vault right over the flames, and you're coming down just as you're coming into land. The orcs are kind of splitting up, and you've got a shot on one of them. Tell me, are you going to deal the extra 1d6 damage, or are you going to avoid?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So you dive in recklessly, going for the weak spot of this creature.
That's
Screaming your catchphrase.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see anywhere in the in the handbook where it says you add your modifier to your damage.
Okay, then we just won't.
So that's 8. It's a serrated, so that's 9, and 3 extra is 12 points of damage.
All right. Oh, damn it! I just had this open too.
In the example, it says GM, well, okay, that's hack and slash. Roll plus strength.
That's for the hit.
That's the hit.
Yeah, that's the hit.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I think
Okay.
that's
Totally
confused too.
Right, yeah, that's true. But
For the damage roll, there's no plus modifier.
damage, you get more damage with advanced moves that you get by leveling up.
Sorry, I've never actually gotten to roll damage for anyone but myself.
That is correct, and I completely had forgotten that rule.
Well, that kind of defies the logic of most other game systems. So it's
Right. What? I don't get damage bonuses? I literally just had. There they go. Okay, so you did 12 damage to him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And as you charge forward and swing at him, he takes a step back and then swings his nasty looking sword at you as well, for 1d10 plus 3 ignores armor.
Wait,
Or no. Yeah.
Isn't that the benefit of rolling a 10 or plus?
You can choose to deal extra damage or ignore the
Oh,
attack.
yeah. My bad. Okay, so he does 10 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And ignores armor?
Ignores armor.
My weapon only ignores 2 points of his armor, by the way.
Thank you. Actually, that does negate his armor completely. What was your damage total again? It was 10 or 12?
12
Thank you.
is 2 piercing. I take 8 then.
All right. You take 8 and kind of stumble backward a little bit from the force of this powerful blow.
And his, again, to repeat, his ignores armor.
His ignores armor.
Well, that sucks.
nasty cleavers.
You actually feel like bits of the armor just kind of tear and rip off as his blade hits you.
Ow.
Right.
You did kind of ramshackle it together.
It's true.
And these swords, like kind of the way they're designed is, it's like they're serrated, but they're serrated on the edge at which he's attacking with. So it's like he's hitting you with the serrated edge and then yanking. So it catches the armor and rips bits of it off.
Like a can opener.
Kind of.
Kind of like a hooked serrated thing.
Right.
All right, so all of us have gone. Do the dwarves go? Do the what
The
happens?
dwarves are moving forward. Their line is clashing with the goblin line. That combat's kind of happening, but it's not specifically something that I need to roll for.
Okay, so narratively they're engaged with the goblins. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, so this is the first time we've ever gotten through all 4 of us and the thing not be dead. So does the enemy get a turn, or do they only
Monsters attack in response to your attacks.
Okay.
So
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 Yaya's on the other side of the battle line of the dwarves. He had leapt forward, right?
right.
Yep.
Okay.
He's engaged with like 4 orcs around him right now and flames behind him.
So I had conjured this thing as a throne, correct?
Correct.
So can I throw my spear into the middle of their horde, and possibly, since it's apparently so effective that being close to it is gonna significantly burn my allies. What if I throw the whole thing into the middle of their horde?
I would say you could probably get somebody, and then just the heat of it would damage the people, the two closest people to him.
So then that would be a volley, but I can still use my intelligence because of burning brand. Correct?
Right. That's correct.
The dice are still nice to me. That is a 10.
Nice. And I believe you don't have to take any of the negative penalties of volley.
Now I don't have the weapon, and that is the second of my 3 uses, and it's.
Is it the? I thought it was the third.
I hadn't. Oh yeah, you're right. That is the third.
Yeah, using it as a light source, I think we counted as.
You hit the goblin in the room that also hit.
I used the wall, and then that creates the third. So,
Yep.
You're correct.
You get a clear shot, deal your damage. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll your damage to the center guy, and then the two sides will take half.
Okay.
And are you hitting one of the orcs or one of the goblins?
I was going after the goblins to concentrate
Okay.
how many guys I could hit with it. So that is a
Better
total
chance of killing them too.
That is a total of
Yeah.
5.
5 to the main guy?
Yes.
Okay. So your spear just penetrates his chest, like burning a big hole through him. And the heat just kind of like radiates off of that. The other two goblins each take 2 damage, and you can just kind of see the flesh blistering on the side of them that's closest to the center goblin.
I smile and hiss.
Those two start to take a step back as the line breaks, and they turn to run, and the dwarves just hammer those two down. So those 3 are dead.
Nice.
Ooh. The last guy in that line. There's 3 more in the line. It's 2 lines of 6. So, that line starts to look doubtful, and like they're trying to turn. And one of the orcs bellows a big guttural roar, and points at the dwarves that they're engaged with, and the goblins tentatively turn back and keep up with the clash.
Don't be a sissy.
Tassel, assist Yaya with the orcs.
Okay. So one of the orcs comes up behind Yaya and raises his this is not the one that you hit, Yaya, this is the one with this is one of the other ones. Comes up behind you and is like ready to swing his sword down on you. Tassel, what are you gonna do?
I will shoot that one. I got a 10 total for 8 damage.
All right.
I'm not useless.
Are you going to oh no, you got 10 total, so you just make the shot. Yeah. So you just take that shot on him. He kind of stumbles back, swinging, missing Yaya by a fraction of an inch. You feel that maybe one of your hairs just right underneath that blade.
Considering he's only a fraction of a foot, that's pretty close.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I would like to try and move forward towards Yaya's position.
Okay.
And supporting. I'm going to try and support him with my mace initially. So I'm going to kind of lunge forward from the battle line and swing with my mace to try and strike one of the goblins that was attacking him. He looked like he took a pretty grievous hit. So.
Okay. So you're trying to break through a goblin line to get to Yaya.
Yeah, I'm going to try and make my way forward to Yaya. Seeing as the goblins themselves seem to be going down, and the dwarves seem to be holding their own, but Yaya seems to be in peril, I'm going to move forward and try and take out a goblin or 2.
Okay. Are you going to take the line that's already suffered 3 casualties?
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm not a frontline fighter, so I'm going to try and cleave off some of the guys.
Fair enough.
And that is a 7. So it still hits, I believe, but I'm in danger.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
No worries.
All right, so on a 7, I hit. And so damage dealt. Get a d6 to stay. Hey, 6.
All right. Yeah, you.
Once I rolled a 6 when it was good.
Right. You come in with your mace and just it collides into the stomach of one of the goblins, and he crumbles to the ground. And you turn towards Yaya just as one of the 4 orcs steps in front of you and brings his sword down. Take 1d10 plus 3 damage, ignoring armor.
Ick. 1d10 plus 3, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. 13. Ow.
You raise your shield up to defend against this blow. It the sword hits that shield and just slams your arm into your body, and those hooks grab onto the outside of your shield and rip it from your grasp.
Ow.
You no longer have a shield.
Oh, Lord. My shield is gone.
And your arm is kind of out of its socket a little bit from the force of the blow. It was a heavy one.
All right. Well, that didn't go as well as I had hoped it might, but
No.
All right.
And Yaya, the orc that you hit pretty hard, he is kind of setting his sword ready to just skewer you. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to take him out.
All right.
Yeah.
I need to rescue Yaya, and I may need rescuing.
9.
9 to hit. That's a hit.
9 to hit.
All right.
6 more damage.
Okay. You're going to kill this guy? Tell me how.
As he lifts his weapon up to smash me, I thrust the spear right underneath his armpit in the big gap right there, piercing his heart.
Oh, nice. And just as you do that, how much health are you at? Are you pretty close?
I got over half.
Okay. Just as you do that, the orc behind you swings with his sword. And go ahead and take D10 plus 3. Ignore armor.
Oh, that's D10 plus 3. Okay,
Yeah.
that's 8 more.
All right. Yeah, you feel his sword just crash into the dwarven armor that you're wearing, and just tear the back part of your breastplate off. Your armor was reduced by 1.
Okay. Not that it matters because he's going right through my armor.
That's true.
Okay. I'll have to use his when he's dead.
Right. All right. The line that's on the far end with the 6 goblins taken up against the dwarves, the 4th orc has engaged in that line, and the 7 of them are really hammering into the 7 dwarves that they're up against.
Oh, the 7 dwarves.
The 7
Easy.
dwarves. A few two. One of the dwarves is forced to the ground by a couple of goblins, and those 2 jump on him and just start pummeling him with some hammers that they had picked up earlier. And the orc steps in and lays into another dwarf, just completely like swords right through the chest. That guy's gone for sure. That line is really struggling. What do you guys want to do?
We gotta keep pressing.
All right.
Can I shoot at the remaining orc?
Yeah, there are 3 orcs still.
Oh, there's still 3. Oh.
Yeah.
There's one that you shot earlier that's threatening Yaya. There's the one that's like toe to toe with Volstan right now, and then there's the other one that's engaging the line of dwarves.
And Volstan is looking very withered at this point. I mean, that blow just took a lot out of him. So
I have to attempt to reconjure my weapon.
Yes. I don't know if that's an action for you. You tell me. I'll
It says when you
It's a
conjure a
move,
weapon of pure fire.
It is a move.
Okay. All right. So then that is a 9.
All right. So you can choose one of those tags.
Okay. So I will remove the dangerous so that I'm not going to hurt my allies.
All right.
Doing 5 points of damage to our cleric was apparently not a wise decision. And I will actually go confront the orc that's damaging the dwarf lines.
Okay. Yeah. So you're just yeah. That's your action. Your move.
So that is a 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. Summoning your weapon is a move. That's your turn.
Oh, okay. All right.
My bad.
So I'll at least be in his way to be a threat, and
Yep.
I've got a fire spear.
All right. We've got you guys going on. So Volstan, the orc in front of you, he hunkers down a little bit. You can see his tusks and his eyes through the small gaps in the dwarven helmet, and he growls at you. You should run. What are you gonna do?
I would normally be inclined to leave him, but
Bring your
At
mace into his nuts.
at this point, I'm going to. I've committed to this act of fighting. I'm going to defend my fellows here. So I'm
Okay.
going to swing again. I'm going to kind of just cringing with my shield arm hanging loose. I'm going to kind of just heft all my weight into a wide swing of my mace,
All right.
and that's a 6. I miss.
Have an experience point, which does mean you get to level up, I believe.
Yep.
Not yet, but when we rest, and also take 1d10 plus 3 as he attempts to stab you with his sword.
Oh. That's 12.
Yeah,
How
ouch.
much life do you have left?
Negative. I've got -7.
That is wonderful. That means the next move is going to be the last breath move, which I'm really excited for. I have not had to do this with a player yet.
All right.
Okay.
Next time, take the chainmail.
All
They
right.
ignore anyway.
Well, this ignores armor, so it wouldn't have
True
mattered.
enough. Yeah.
Oh
there we
yeah.
go.
So Yaya and Tassel, you just saw an orc step up and just stab Volstan right through the stomach with his big nasty ass sword.
So for called shot, it says attack a defenseless or surprised enemy, so I can't use that now, correct?
Sure, you can. You can shoot the cleric.
I wasn't expecting it.
Is that a ability you have?
Sounds betrayal.
Yeah, it's a ranger ability.
Okay. I want to look it up just to be on the safe side. Oh, there we go. Called shot, attack a defenseless or surprised enemy at range. So it's kind of like a sneak attack.
Okay.
I would give it to you on the orc that stabbed Volstrand because he's completely focused on just that guy.
Okay, so I will attempt a headshot then.
Okay.
That's pretty good. That's an 11.
Woo!
All right. Very nice. Yeah, you. So you like launch 2 arrows at once, and they both just like clang into the dwarven helmet, bouncing off. But it was with such force that he just kind of stumbles and then kind of looks dazed.
Okay, so that's 9 damage.
Okay. I don't think you do any damage, do you? You just do.
It says
Oh,
plus
you do
plus damage.
That's your damage. You're right. You are right. Awesome. That's right. It's if you got 7th.
Yeah.
Huh. Nope. You do
So-
damage either way.
Well, no, it says 7 through 9 they do nothing but stand and
Oh.
drool, and then
But
10 plus is as 7
as
or
7
9
through 9
plus damage.
Plus your damage. Right. Okay. Cool.
Well enough.
Awesome.
Where you got both. That's
Nice.
Way to read rules.
Is it dead?
It is not dead, but he's kind of
It's
looking
standing there
pretty
going.
So,
my
since
orc impression.
Yaya's bond is that he swore to protect the cleric, Yaya is going to grab one of his healing potions, run over through the legs of the stunned orc, and pour the healing potion down the gullet of the cleric.
Okay. Make me a defy danger roll.
Sure. What aspect of defying danger?
However you plan on getting around these 2 orcs that are between. Well, this one orc that's between you and Volstan. The other
I
one's
will
dead.
have to dexterously. I will use my. Here we go. I'm going to use my small size to get between their legs.
All right.
But
That sounds like a
dexterity?
dex.
Defying danger using my small size, which gives me a +1, which I needed. So that's a 7, 8, 9.
All right. I have to keep
So-
changing, going to the rules and double checking the defy. Here we go. 7 through 9. You stumble and hesitate and flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome. Hard bargain. Okay. So, I will as you start to slip or duck under the orc's legs. He swings clumsily and kind of knocks you off balance a little bit. You can take an attack from him
Mhm.
in order to catch your the potion goes flying out of your hand. You can take an attack from him to snatch it,
Mhm.
or you can avoid the attack and the potion will fall to the ground and shatter.
Well, I will take it. I'll take it, and I will like it.
All right. D10 plus. That was you really
Sound-
wanted the attack.
Sounds like a
D10 is
13.
a ranged attack.
Woo!
Uh,
I have 1 hit point left.
okay. Yeah, you you get under his legs and get over to Volstan just as he just stomps down on one of your legs.
Ow!
Ow.
You feel the bone crack under the force of his foot, but biting through the pain, you're able to get the healing potion down Volstan's gullet.
And that's
and-
what, 1d10?
It's just 10.
Yeah, no,
Just 10,
not
just
D10.
10.
Just flat out 10.
Nice. So is that up from my negative or from 0?
I'm gonna call it from 0.
Okay, because I don't believe this
Volstan-
game has tracks negatives, so 10. Okay,
No.
cool.
Volstan, you see the cloudiness of death come over you. The world starts to turn dark, and you can hear the buzzing of bees in your ears. From a ways off, you start to see like this plains land just open up, and then you feel something cold inside of you, and then your vision darkens again into, and then immediately it's just erupted in flame, and you see the world around you with you're laying on the ground. Standing above you is a orc, just kind of like swaying in spot. There's the flaming wall next to you, but you're alive again.
Oh my.
And there's Yaya's ugly face in your face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
that's true.
You don't know whether the halfling is like reaching down to give you a kiss, a hug, but the
It's
face is like
very-
right there.
I just
Oh, yeah.
saw the afterlife and like now. Ah!
Eat you because he thought you were dead.
Exactly.
I mutter from weakly, not yet. I have yet to perish.
We got Longshanks.
All right.
All right.
So are
Good
we
save.
back to the top? Did Mike go?
Yeah, I
Did you
did.
go, Mike? Oh yeah,
Mike
yeah. That's right.
stunned
You
the,
headshot
stunned
him.
the orc.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Now
So
I've got too much light. What the heck?
the orc takes notice of Salvex with his flaming spear, and he just growls and raises his sword, preparing to swing. What are you going to do?
I'm putting the spear right in his right in the missing section of armor.
All right.
Bet you wish you had your cod piece now.
That's an 11.
All right. So you just deal your damage.
So this is hack and slash. So I'm trying to get these guys gone quick. So I am willing to do the extra damage.
All right.
And I rolled like crap. That is 2 on
Okay.
two dice.
Wow.
Die 8, die 6. I mean, the dice had to finally catch up. I mean, I've been rolling hot on the D6s all night. Or all afternoon, whatever time of day it is.
Right.
So now this thing
Burned
cuts me in
on
half, right?
Yeah, exactly. You like force your spear at it. Without the hand thing, it's more like you actually have to physically touch him, but you just kind of spear, and you kind of get a hold of the armor, and you feel the armor like heating up a little bit. But you're close enough now that he just rears back with his free hand and punches you in the face.
All right, so D10 plus 3.
Yep.
That's 10.
Okay. You take 10 damage as you stumble back, almost getting knocked out by that blow.
That blow is half my hit points, and I had taken 3 previously. So yeah, it's not a happy day.
Not at all. Anybody else want to make a move? Volstan, you're still laying on the ground with this
Uh,
orc kind of hovering above you.
Yeah, I am indeed.
Kick him in the nuts.
And Yaya, another orc.
Yaya is about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think.
Do you want me to go first? See if I can kill the one that's on top of you guys.
Yeah.
Well, the one guy is stunned, so he can't do anything this round, right?
Right.
Right.
So there's only one orc over there for the two of you guys to deal with this round.
Okay.
Yeah, one
So
orc
I've got a couple of plays. I mean, I could either, actually, the one that doesn't require any additional action would be to use healing magic on Yaya, to try and heal him. But we do still have the orc above us.
Mhm.
Well,
So-
the orc above us is stunned.
He's stunned. Okay, so he looks like he's kind of. I'm going to take the moment, noticing the moment where he is stunned. I'm going to actually toss Yaya my healing potion, and to or pop it open because he's down to like a hit point, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and basically pop it open and offer it to him in reciprocation. One good deed. Sort of a thing, and let him drink and not die.
All right.
Well, now that Yaya feels reinvigorated, he will charge at the still awake, not stunned, partially damaged with an orc with an arrow stuck in him.
That's the orc who's got your leg pinned under his foot at the moment.
Well, that.
All the more
Good,
reason
I'm
to
in
hit
a
him.
perfect position. I'm in the exploit the missing codpiece position.
Perfect.
That's a 12 plus stuff. I'm not going to do extra damage because I
Okay.
can't afford to be damaged. And
Right.
I'll just do 8.
All right. You see him. He gets his sword down like he's ready to just, and you are able to get your spear up right into that codpiece area, and use the weight of his own attack to drive your spear further into his body. He sort of slumps to one side and falls down right next to you. His attack obviously doing nothing since you killed him.
Woo! All right.
Woohoo.
So would the
Well placed, my little friend.
would the stupefied orc technically be defenseless?
Yeah.
All right,
Sure.
I'll do it. I'll do another called shot on his arm, just
Take
in
him out.
case. Just in case he survives. That way he doesn't have a weapon in his hand.
Yeah.
8, 9, so 10.
Getting
Okay.
all Legolas on us.
Do the damage and the other thing.
And 5. So he drops what he's holding and takes 5 damage.
All right. So your arrow just digs right into a weak spot in the joint, into his elbow, and you just see the sword just clatter from his fingers, and he kind of looks dazedly at this wound, and then turns and starts to slump off in the opposite direction, or in the way that he came.
Yay! We made him run away.
So he's lazily walking away.
Drag step, drag step,
But
drag
still
step.
half dazed.
Yeah. The three goblins seem like on this side seem like they kind of been holding off the dwarves in a steady pattern, but they at this point sort of realize that they're getting outnumbered or over surrounded. They turn to run, only to find more dwarves around them because 6 on 3. And as they try to run off, 2 of them just get beat to death, and the third one is able to actually get out of there, and he runs away. The other line that's going strong, seeing that half their flank is gone, those goblins just turn and flee. The orc tries to threaten them back into space, into place, but to no effect.
We're not going to stay while you're running, douche.
So, I wasn't expecting him to turn in the other direction. So, I try to stab him with the spear, and he totally steps out of the way.
Okay. Yeah, this one's not running away, but yeah, try to go with the spirit. He's like
Gotta-
turning and yelling at us.
Four on my attack roll.
Oh, I forgot there was that other one.
XP.
So
right.
I get my first XP.
He turns and he's yelling at the goblins, and then at your clumsy swing, he turns and sets you in his angry orc stare, and says, "You are responsible for this." And he swings at you. Take
right.
D10 plus 3.
That is 6.
All right.
So that brings me to a single hit point.
Uh-oh.
And that would make it yeah. The rest of you guys do your stuff.
All right, so there's still an orc standing.
There's still an orc standing, fighting me in the dwarven line and yelling at the goblins and
All right,
He's kind of set on Salvex. It looks like he's just going for a one-on-one kind of a thing.
okay. So
does that mean he's distracted? Is that
Yes.
advantage?
I don't know about advantage. Wrong system.
So if I heard correctly, all the other goblins are booking it, right?
Oh yeah, everyone's going.
Okay, so it's just the orc left. Okay.
Yep. The
All right.
dwarves are consolidating their line and ready to converge on the final orc.
I only rolled a 6 to hit.
Is that a level for you then?
No, I got
That's-
one more.
It's an XP though. I'm gonna have you lose another ammo.
I'm going to move in and try to cast Cure Light Cure Light Wounds on Salvex,
All right,
who is clearly looking worse for wear.
for sure.
So, casting Yon's spell. Jeez. I rolled a 4.
Hey, that's
All right.
so that
XP.
that gets me 4.
No, that was my two cast the spell. I failed to cast the spell. So
I think at this point,
Your
you
god
just
hates
suddenly feel a disconnect. Maybe it was the fact that you just got robbed from death. You don't know, but you just feel like try as you might, you don't have the ability to cure wounds anymore. You have forgotten the spell for the day.
Oh. All right, Yaya will, using the cleric as a stepping stone, just hop on his shoulders and stab the orc.
All right.
That
The orc
is
is on the other side of the fire. He's like 20 feet away.
Well, he'll run there and do it.
Okay.
All the goblins are running away. There should be an open field.
I'm going to give you a -1 to your attack because you've got to move on your busted leg.
Okay. That's a 8 minus 1 is 7.
Okay. You'll definitely hit. To make your attack roll. And he is also going to, like, with his free hand, smack you into the flames.
Mm-hmm.
So after you make your attack roll, take D10 plus 3 damage. But you can still armor that.
Right. Oh, I can.
Yes, because
Cool.
he's smacking
He has
into the
no
fire.
weapon. All right, so he takes 8,
All right.
and I take 6.
All right. And at this point, I think the Dwarven line's setting back again. Unless you guys would like to make the attack roll to finish this off, I think we can just kind of call this battle done.
I would imagine the dwarves would probably waste no time in dispatching that final orc,
Oh, yeah.
unless Tassel wants to do something.
Nah, I would have hit, so it doesn't matter. I just wanted to see if I could get experience for missing.
I mean,
Before the dwarves are able to close, Tassel fires off his last arrow and hits the wall.
who wants the killing blow on this orc? Let the dwarves do it, or
Yeah, dwarves can have it.
Yaya wants it.
Oh, yeah,
Yaya
it
wants
is.
it.
Yaya wants it. All right.
Yaya's
Fresh
killed
orcs-
all
fresh
three.
orcs
He
could
killed 3 of the other ones.
So Yaya, you've just been kind of like knocked into flames. You've got fire all around you. How are you going to finish this guy off?
Well, is he within reach?
Oh yeah. He's the one that you just attacked.
I'll say, "Hey, ugly," and when he turns to look at me, just put it right in his eye socket.
All right. And being that you started that turn in the fire, I'll have you take a d6 of fire damage.
Okay. Yaya is crispy, but not dead.
Mhm. And then shortly after, the wall itself burns out. And the dwarves turn to you and say, "Thank you for the assist."
Salvex looks at the the few wounds on him, and like momentarily curls up like a snake, and I'm fidgeting for my pouch to find my potion, and it's like that when you've got the sick kid that's like doing those half-hearted attempts to move something.
Volstan will kneel down and offer, some assistance and finding the potion. Is this the one? I can't read your writing. Is this the one?
There's only 2 potions there. Either work.
Very well. And I hand him
Yeah,
one.
one's poison.
That's
The
what
other's
Volstan
healing
did want to make sure. I wanted to make sure of. I mean, the scaly fellow. This one is your muscle ointment, and one is your.
I have a satchel. It's got 2 potions, a handful of coins. I have a necklace with a fire opal in it, and that's it. I've got no clothes, no other belongings. I got squat.
It is well known that the sapphire salamanders lack modesty.
Can you not read it because it's in cursive?
Oh.
It's slanderous.
So I will drink one of my potions. That's I'm no longer at 1. I'm still like.
We're all so hurting, except for Tassel. What's up with that man?
I'm a little singed, and then got a cut on my hand, which I'm assuming why I rolled like crap several times.
We lost
Just
our
the blood.
It's,
our GM disappeared.
Yeah, he said he'd be right back.
Right.
This is like indicative of the system that you take certain types of character builds, you're going to have more damage coming in at you. It's interesting to see how different rule sets favor different types of builds.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I would probably have been because the orc's weapons ignore damage anyway. So I mean, really, in this case, my thematic choice didn't punish me. It was the orc having a snarly weapon.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So
do the dwarves believe us now?
We believe you now.
did any of the dwarves fall?
One went down with a sword to the chest, and one was badly beat by the goblins, but he's not dead.
All right. So one died. One is just injured.
Right. The dwarven captain.
Martin? Oh, is that what it was?
All
No,
the
no, no, no.
NPCs' names.
Oh, that was the caravan leader.
Martin is the caravan leader.
All NPCs
Actually-
are Martin.
Yes. All dwarves are named Martin.
Right. His name is Unearthed.
Unearthed.
It like
That's what Uth said.
Was that
joke
Salvik's
never gets
talking?
old. He says, "I appreciate the assistance, and obviously, if you were siding with them, you wouldn't have, fought to the end."
As I look at the sword wound that's still somewhat open on my across my abdomen, does it look like the wound that the dwarf that we first encountered, the female dwarf? Does it look anything like that?
Yeah, actually, it looks a lot like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we know who has been killing dwarfs.
Oh,
Yes.
do we want to go after the orc that escaped?
Oh, they'll be back.
Wow. Uthad, do you have a place to recover? Because we're hurting.
Miss.
Yeah. We can set up a defensible position in one of these shops, probably.
Before,
Or we could go back to the fort.
how far away is the fort?
It would take a good stroll, probably about an hour to get there.
Only an hour?
An hour is a bit of a march, but I think that would probably be more defensible than this little alcove here. I would suggest before we head out that we look through these orcs and their minions for any clues, any information, or anything of worth noting.
Definitely. Discern me
Well,
some reality.
While he's doing that, can I use my hunt and track to follow the direction the orcs and the goblins went to make sure they didn't just go a little further to recoup and then come back?
Yes, you can.
That is Snake Eyes, too.
Well, that's an experience. That's not just in reality.
Yeah, we'll also go through their pockets looking for spare change and carving off any tasty bits.
Yeah, so I guess what discern reality is, if you get less than a 7, you just don't get to ask anything. Yeah, just searching the bodies. They look kind of like what you had seen.
So can I interpose what? Can I narrate why I got so crappy a roll?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So the guy who thrust his sword into my guts and currently had Yaya's spear through his face. I casually hand the spear back to Yaya, and my intent was to begin looking to see whether there was any information. But I grabbed this guy's helmet, face, head, whatever you want to call it, and I get angry, and I just begin melting it. So I'm gonna melt the metal that he's wearing. You said he was wearing a helmet, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna totally slag the metal in my hands.
Okay.
So it winds up. I forget all about what it was that I was trying to do. The metal just begins to drip and do whatever it does, and I wind up taking a small portion of the metal, and I just start shaping it in my hands and form it into just a ye old basic steel. It's steel, right?
Yeah.
So I form a piece of it into a ring, and just put it on my finger, and just like in a huff. It's clearly there's some aggression going on there, but I just kind of slump off, or I can't really stomp off, so I'll slither away from the body, leaving everyone else untouched.
Hey, Salvex, if you're making things, can you make me some arrowheads?
I can absolutely do that.
Yeah, and can you fix my armor? It's got a hole.
Several.
Yeah, it will just take me some time.
Well then,
so gather up the materials that you need.
all right.
When we rest, I shall do so.
And Volstead, you said you were going to just check their pockets and stuff.
No, that was not me.
Who's that?
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, I said it. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Volstan is actually going to look and see if there's any sign of any of the trade goods on these goblins or anything like that. We are looking for a missing caravan, so do they have any recognizable bits?
So right. I will clarify. Jewelry does not carry any weight, right?
Right.
So we just need enough jewelry piled together to make it into plate mail.
You just need metal. Yeah. You're funny. You need metal for me to make stuff out of. But
Wouldn't that be ring mail?
boom, boom. Handcrafted. You can use your hands to place in tools and fire to craft metal objects. Mundane weapons, armor, and metal jewelry can all be formed from their raw components. You may unmake these things as well, but to do so without time and safety might require you to defy danger first. So like, I'm a living forge, dude. It's awesome.
Mhm.
That is cool.
Yeah, you find some small gems just stuffed into the pockets of some of the goblins, with a handful of rocks. It looks like they didn't know the difference between a stone and a gem as far as value goes.
The rocks are valuable. The gems are sling bullets.
Pretty much. um, and Volstan, you find amongst the orcs' possession a few bottles of mead. Unfortunately, at least one of them has met an untimely demise.
I get a little misty as I cradle the shattered bottle. Far too soon. But there's another one. Perhaps when we're in the safety of the fort, we can crack this open and sample some of the brew.
All right. So on to the fort then.
Yes.
So does anything happen between here and the fort?
It does not.
Do we
few-
see any roads that have shields layered in them?
uh,
Not gonna let me live that one.
Absolutely not, dude.
you actually bring it up with the dwarves, and they Uthed looks at you and goes, "What kind of idiot has told you that thing? Why would shields do not make good roads?
Well then,
Maybe art. Maybe we adorn our walls with them, but to build a road from shields, really?"
it seemed plausible.
And he's still supporting it. Yes.
Perhaps that was more than the northern dwarves, where the wood is stouter and the
Must have been the shield dwarves, not the mountain dwarves.
the tall trees and the.
Yes, those shield dwarves have some strange ideas. Maybe they make roads from shields.
So, handcrafted here. It doesn't have any kind of check. It just says mundane weapons, armor, and metal jewelry can all be formed from their raw components. So that's something I just do.
Are you looking at emulator, or are you looking at
Under emulator, the fifth starting move is called handcrafted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna put there. Yep, I got you. Yeah, just make them.
So can I make more ammo for Tassel and
Yeah.
fix the armor and shield of my other companions, Volstan and yeah.
Yeah. How you're able to probably pull off enough pieces from the orcs to just fashion that into something else. So I'd allow that.
All right.
I won't
So-
add ammo until I get into the forest and I'm able to gather some branches for some shafts. But at least I have arrowheads.
Right.
So
How much ammo do you have left?
4.
4. Okay, you're still doing pretty.
So can I add any kind of embellishment?
Yeah.
So,
What are you thinking?
Well, it's Yaya of the Spear. So, like, I wanted to, emblazon something upon the breastplate that I'm fixing. So, like, I kind of have a conversation with Yaya, not really letting known what what my intentions are. So I'm trying to extract some information as I'm heating up the metal and getting it smooth out. I clearly can't do this while you're wearing it. I think heating metal and skin not a good idea. So Yaya, you have this title of the Spear. How did you acquire such a moniker?
Are you gazing intensely into my eyes as you ask me that question?
I can absolutely gaze intensely into your eyes as if I'm compelling you to tell me the truth.
You're compelling me to tell you what fuels the flames of my desire for my spear?
Indeed.
Oh, okay. Well, Yaya will tell you, fuck you. No. The reason I'm with you, Longshanks, is because I stole this spear from my chief. He kicked me out of the tribe. So there. But I love it.
So this specific spear is the one you stole?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything special about the way it looks? Is there anything... Yeah.
Oh, it's got a lovely serrated edge, and it is sharp beyond sharp.
All right, so then I will mimic the I will mimic the the spear head on the breastplate. So I'll ask Kurt this question. Do you want like a single spear point like down the middle of the breastplate? Do you want one on one on either side? Is there anything that you'd favor?
Sure, just embellish it any way you see fit. Yaya doesn't care. Yaya's not really into fashion.
I want to make it fit better.
Well, that kind of goes without saying. Would I be able to remove the clumsy?
Yeah.
Well, it won't matter because fighters ignore the clumsy tag anyway.
That's true.
All right,
But sure, make it nice.
I make it no longer clumsy. I make it fit better. I put the the nice spear point down the front of the breastplate. I make it look nice.
And now it doesn't have the clumsy tag, so
you don't need to ignore it anymore.
All right. We'll no longer ignore that it's... What? Okay.
These distinctions are important. You no longer need to ignore the thing that's not there. So stop using your class ability now.
All right. He's going to pay attention to the fact that it's no longer clumsy.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
So, how does it fit now, Yaya?
It's okay.
Like a glove.
Like two gloves.
Yaya's an ungrateful bastard.
That's all right. Well, I'm still trying to return the favor, so I thought maybe this would be it, but apparently not.
Nah. Sorry.
We had some moments, and I'm curious. Does anybody think that any of their bonds have changed?
Wouldn't say not for me. No, I don't think anything. I mean, Tassel didn't do anything particularly trustworthy or duplicitous, so he didn't go either way. Let's see, Salvix. I mean, I if anything, just kind of backed that one up, and then Yaya didn't have a chance to really discuss belief with Yaya.
Well, Tassel, keeps losing his ammo, but he hasn't run out. I don't know. Volstan. I actually think Volstan that he knows now more about the strength of my fire, and I feel that I've actually kind of wronged him by hurting him with the flames.
So it might have shifted a little bit more towards a guilt factor where
I think so.
Perhaps I don't trust him so implicitly.
Well, I mean that I'm loyal. I came to your aid.
True.
I was apparently.
It was just that the power of your fire is it's much greater than I anticipated. I mean, even being just in close proximity to its action hurt me. Much greater respect for your flame.
Okay.
There we go.
You can trust him to make sure you feel the burn.
Yeah.
And Yaya, do you feel like you're bringing Volstan back from the dead? Does that change your bond with Volstan at all?
Absolutely. I had sworn to protect him, and I did, but now I realize instead that Volstan is soft, and I will make him tough like me.
Okay. Cool. That sounds like a solid bond resolution. Both of you gain experience, and Yaya, change your bond to reflect.
Done.
It sounds like everything else is either an amplification of the bonds that already exist, or just another way of like solidifying why that bond is there.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, unless Tassel had some bond action going on there.
No, not really.
No bondage for Tassel.
No bondage for task.
Closest thing I think would be
Nobody knows what those elves do.
Selvex not having respect for nature, so I have no respect for him. Is just the quip that I made about him not wanting to help put out the fire anyway, despite he probably
Right.
could have done it way better. That was
That
just
didn't
roll.
change anything.
Yeah.
But you didn't give me the opportunity to prove that I would.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
I
Tassel
didn't
did.
realize how those worked.
No, that's
Tassel
all right.
did-
Now you're playing into the bond. They work perfectly. Yeah, you play into it, and then if it has a chance to change, it changes. So,
Cool.
all right.
All right,
So,
how does resting work? How does this?
we are resting. We're resting in a safe place, so we can rest for as long as we need.
So are we making camp in a dungeon or city?
It's a city. I mean, it's a fort, but it's a city
Okay.
for all
'cause
intents and purposes.
it says when you make camp in a dungeon or city, you don't need to consume a ration
Oh, good.
on my ability for human.
All right.
The assumption there, I'm assuming, is that you're just going to the inn and eating the food there instead of your travel rations.
Right.
Yeah.
I have no food, so.
Volstan is definitely eating.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. Sweet,
Where-
sweet.
So,
mutton.
are we covering?
I'm about to sneeze, so give me a second. Yeah, and those of you who have 4 experience are also leveling up.
I managed to accumulate 6 in this game.
Be right back.
I'm halfway
All
there.
right.
It's all that horrible die rolling.
You can rest and heal up to half of your maximum hit points. I think you guys are long enough. You can rest and heal all the way. Because you're in a pretty safe place. The dwarves kind of with the fort. You guys get the gist that there was a kind of surprise attack from the goblins where they came in looking like dwarven soldiers, in dwarven garb and all that stuff. And after getting past the gates, did a surprise attack on the guards themselves and sort of secured the front entrance. And
Well, if we're going to spend enough time here too, would it be safe to assume then that I'd be able to like cast my healing magic a number of times, commune to get it back, and then be able to heal around to where I could also aid in our overall healing as well, and maybe even endear ourselves to the dwarves a bit by aiding some relief or providing some relief and aid to them.
Yeah, I'm willing to say you probably were able to save that one soldier's life by providing that aid.
Yeah, I only need an hour of uninterrupted time and quiet to pray. So I'm over there having a bit of the mead with the goddess and asking why why did you not answer my call? Okay, we're good. But
yeah, and if you're asking about the caravans,
that was
haven't.
Gonna be the first thing on my mind is did the caravan make it here? Like, do we need to send out another any more people to try and get the supplies or trade goods, however you want to look at it, that is still at the cave mouth, but with a dead horse and a broken wagon? Like, you either got to send out a new wagon or a whole group of people to carry the stuff back.
The dwarves haven't seen anything of your caravan at all.
And this is where it was intended to go, correct?
This is where, especially the dwarven goods were coming here, crafted elsewhere, delivered here, and those were the goods that the goblins had actually used to sneak into
Oh, they took that stuff?
They took that stuff and dressed themselves up as dwarves, and that's how they got into the hold undetected in the first place.
So we need to get
Not the hold, the city, or the road.
The fort.
Yeah.
So we need to get those supplies and bring them here.
Especially the mead cart. That's that wagon is unfound.
So
the dwarves are pretty concerned about that one.
So, the patrol, Uthed, if we can, I don't know if we're talking to him or somebody else.
Talking to Ted.
Would you like to, take the dwarven supplies off those filthy goblins and return it here, while the rest of us go out and find the missing caravans?
I think that would be a good plan. We could see if the caravans have made it into the hold at all, but I doubt it.
Word would have certainly spread.
What's that?
Word would have certainly spread.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just with
Right.
more S's.
I just missed the first 2 words, so I didn't hear it all the way. Uh,
All right, so we need to go find. Do we need to go all the way back out to the entrance and follow the trail of clues left behind by passing creatures, or was there a different spot we can go to try to track the wagons?
I think if the goods were brought into the hold, they would have come in individually, not in a whole wagon.
Do you have a local map?
Yeah, yes, of course.
So, we get that to come out. Tassel, if we look here, and I trace the route that we were taking, and we look at all the expanse of where we are, where we split up. I'm pretty intelligent for a salamander. I got a 15. So I'm certain I can trace the route of where we are. Where we got split from memory. Yes.
Yeah.
So knowing the terrain, where would you feel that our caravan would have gone to get to the location? So can we ascertain a most likely course of action?
You are muted there, Mike.
Yeah, hold on a sec. My dog's barking. I'm going to shut the door real quick.
Okay.
So would that be a discern reality? Would that just be logic?
It would be a spout lore if we make a roll on it.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. My only worry is if we made a roll and it was a poor roll, is it gonna be one of those things where, well, now we don't have a thing to go with an adventure on? So
Or do we just adventure into the wrong spot?
right.
So Salvix was able to trace our path using his intelligence. Can I use wisdom to ascertain where it may have gone?
Yeah,
That's the only way I might succeed.
Intellect versus intuition.
I think the two of you, studying the map and being aware of the lay of the land and putting together your wisdom and intelligence, could sort of figure out possible branching points. And the fact that area is there are goblins around there is not a. You doing okay there, Mike?
I just rolled snake eyes.
Oh, nice. Well, I wasn't gonna have you rolling it anyway, so you're fine. I think you guys could trace your steps back to give you a well-informed decision on your next move.
All right, so we're going to go back to the point where we lost the caravan in the first place.
I have an idea. The one orc that we didn't kill, but was damaged. Yeah. Maybe we could follow his trail.
Okay. Definitely.
Yeah.
Just look for the step drag.
Yeah, the step drag.
Yeah,
and he was shot with an arrow by you.
He's no longer an adventurer. He took an arrow in the knee.
Exactly. So let's go back to the site of the fight and have the ranger hunt and track his quarry with the help of his pet.
All right. I would say you guys don't even need to roll that. You can get back to there and do that. Before we get there, is there anything anybody wants to do while in the hold?
Yes, I'd like to see if I can buy another healing potion.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And these gems, how much are they worth?
Yeah, so you can get them appraised, and I believe there is a roll for that. Maybe not. What's Damn, this book.
We're surrounded by dwarves. I'm pretty sure we can find somebody who knows how much the
if you
gems
want
are
us,
worth.
Oh, for sure.
yeah, if you want us to roll a supply roll, then we could do that. But that's only if you think that the thing I'm looking for is going to be hard to find.
No. I'm just trying to figure out what you can sell it for and how that goes in here.
So I also have 10 gold pieces of party treasure written down from
Yeah.
the
From
dwarf
earlier,
chick.
Yeah.
So I'll allow you to say you could probably sell all of them for about 30 gold, and then as far as finding healing potions go, that's pretty easy.
What type of gems are they?
Random assortments of lesser gems. I honestly don't know enough about gemstones to give a type and then have it be properly equal to 30 gold worth of.
If there's anything that would be a red stone that I would be able to have in lieu of the gold, I would prefer that.
Oh, I'd probably say there's at least one ruby.
Well, that's convenient. That means there's 40 gold worth of loot, and there's 4 of us. So, what? Everybody gets 10 gold. That sound reasonable?
Sounds reasonable to me.
And
Right.
I just found
And
the
then
equipment.
how much of that could be my ruby, so I can embed that into my steel ring.
Let's say the ruby is 3 gold
All right, so
or coin or whatever.
So I have 7 more gold, and my steel ring now has a ruby in it.
Okay.
And I guess we will not be buying a healing potion since those cost 50 coin.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Okay,
Look at
well, had I known that, I probably would not have drank the one that I had.
Had I had any inclination of the way the economy works in Dungeon World, I might have given you more gold. I will give you each a healing potion as a gift from the dwarves.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
Very kind of them.
All right, back
Thank
to
you.
2. And
Yeah.
I don't have to actually erase the one that was there. Nice.
Good. Okay.
All right.
10 gold worth of stuff.
Okay, so you guys head back to where your battle was at. It's not too hard to find. I mean,
And he'll buy bandages.
the dwarven bodies were obviously taken back by the dwarves, but they didn't touch the goblin bodies. When you return to that spot, the dead have all been hauled away.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's still there's an obvious charring spot across the ground. There's chunks of armor. There's this scraping, awkward walk that easy to pick up at first, gets harder to follow as you move on. But
So I'm gonna, take some, small chunks of metal, and like I said, I've got my satchel, so I'll break it off into manageable, chunks. And it sounds like we're gonna be, we've been traveling together, the 4 of us, for a while. So just as we're going, I'm gonna, start shaping some, again, just basic steel rings based off of what I think is gonna fit their hands, and at some point in time, I give them all a ring. Not proposing anything or any of that kind of stuff, guys.
Oh,
Just,
that's cool.
he has got the one ring to rule you all.
Thank you, Salvex. That's very good.
I always
Not
appreciate
much.
a token of the memory of our adventure.
It looks like. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can you embed one of the arrowheads into it so I can punch people with
punch
it?
ring.
I could absolutely do that. So a little bit of heat, a little bit of work, clean it
Little
up.
tack welding.
It looks like the dwarves have sent out more groups and have started to clear out areas that the goblins have ransacked. So the road back to the entrance is a bit safer than
It
the
was
road.
previously.
There's a few slight scuffles. They don't last long. You know, if you get involved, the goblins usually flee pretty quickly.
So are we able to follow? Where do we follow the tracks to?
As do you want to try to find him or just figure out where he went?
Yes.
I would think the two would be the same, but
I guess more specifically, are you looking to like follow him to a camp? Is that the ideal? Or?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I figure he was the one of the group that ambushed the caravan. Therefore,
Yeah.
finding him would find the caravan.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to follow his tracks, and they actually lead off to on another little side path, not far from the entrance to the door. This is an area too where the guards haven't pushed too far and haven't actually taken that door all the way. They are meeting more goblin resistance here. So it's a little more of a dangerous area. How do you guys want to proceed?
Let's see.
Can it be scouted out?
We can. Yeah, we can do that. I was going to do a perilous journey, but I don't think that applies here because it's not long enough, but maybe. Actually, let's do it. Let's do a perilous journey.
Absolutely.
Perilous journey.
Because I've wanted to use this for a while now, so let's. Any excuse to use perilous journey is great.
Now that I'm officially a half elf because I'm level 2, my elf background.
Oh, that's right.
When I undertake a perilous journey through wilderness, whatever job I take succeeds as if I had rolled a 10+.
Okay. We will call this a perilous journey through wilderness because I'm going to lead you guys outside of the hold now. Because why not? So, there are 3 roles that must be filled: the Trailblazer, the Scout, and the Quartermaster. The Trailblazer is the person who blazes the trail. The Scout is the person who makes sure you guys aren't jumped by the enemies, and the Quartermaster is the person who keeps up with the food and makes sure everyone is fed. So pick those roles, and then each of you who's running those roles make...
All right, so all of them are plus wisdom, right?
Yes. Each job, yeah.
So I have a 1 wisdom. I
Let's do it.
I don't think a Trailblazer is right for me, but Quartermaster or Scout, I have no problem with.
What are you talking about? You blaze things all the time.
Yeah, you're definitely a trailblazer.
Yes, but you don't want me blazing the trail.
It's stone. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, you guys are going out into the woods.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh.
I can make shafts for my new arrowheads.
Yeah, you probably can manage that. I do believe if you allow Salvex to do the trailblazing, Tassel's bond will be confirmed.
Perfect. Let's do that.
All right, so just so we're clear, and I did level up, so I've done some updating. I took First Aid, which turns Cure Light Wounds into a Rote for me.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
And then for my spells prepared for in this last communion, Cause Fear, Magic Weapon, and Sanctuary.
All right.
Yeah,
So
magic
who-
weapons good. Blessed is good too.
All right, so fine. You forced me to be the Trailblazer. I will.
No, wait. Have yeah. You should be the trailblazer and
I'll be
have
the
the
scout.
cleric be the quartermaster.
All right.
Okay,
so
yeah, I can be the Quartermaster.
I blaze our trail. I succeed at barely a 7.
Okay. You just managed to not light things on fire.
But I'm
See,
not
I
happy.
respected nature. I did it. I didn't light a single tree or bush on fire.
No, several. Not single, several.
Not even a single.
All right. You perform your job as expected. You didn't burn anything at all.
Yay, adequate.
I'm not mediocre.
And the journey takes just as long as you expected, probably the afternoon. I mean,
Alright.
just
Quartermaster,
and,
do we starve to
yeah,
death?
quartermaster.
All right.
It's
Depends on if I
starve-
ate all the food or not.
Starve to death in a couple hours.
That's any modifier on that, or just a straight 2d6?
Wisdom.
2d6 plus wisdom.
Oh, all right. So an 8.
All right. You also managed to do your job adequately. You eat, food, but not any more than you needed to, and you make sure to share.
Yes.
Everybody can consume one ration for this journey because it's less than a day.
All
Okay.
right.
What if we don't have any rations?
Somebody can share.
Hey, everybody has a ration.
I
You
don't.
didn't get rations?
Nope.
Yeah, Immolator's weird because it's like there's some. Oh no, you do. You have 5 rations.
You had an option to have 5
Under.
rations. Let's choose 2.
Oh, you didn't choose.
I didn't have rations.
You chose. Oh,
so
you chose the Immolator coins.
like on my gear, it says you carry dungeon rations plus
Right.
blah blah blah. So on his, it does not.
Yeah, so
guess.
I don't know. I couldn't find the purchase stuff, so I don't know how much rations are. I would have
Oh.
purchased some if we needed them.
I will
Rations
share some
are-
of my rations.
Yeah, we have rations to share.
Okay.
Yep.
I will replace
There's-
them when we can buy.
There's
stuff.
also this amazing thing called hunting that can happen when you have a ranger with a bow.
who automatically succeeds on stuff like that.
Yeah, rations
Wow.
are 3 coins.
I think.
Okay.
I think we're getting this little roped into too much 5e. All right. Who is last with Scout?
He automatically succeeds.
I got 10 plus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's even better.
That means we don't get ambushed. I see it coming. No.
Yeah. No. You are able to spot all of the goblin patrols, which they're not really patrols as much as ragtag warbands that are making their way towards the dwarven hole in groups of anywhere from 5 to like 20.
All right.
Um,
I will tell the party when to be quiet and not move, and when to skirt ahead quickly and try to avoid them rather than engage them.
And it doesn't take long for you to find as you get into the forest woods area, the trails in the woods that are the goblin makeshift warbands. They've clearly been much more active lately, even more so than they were, heading to this. Well, then again, you didn't know what you're looking for at the time. Heading to the hold, and you were able to follow the tracks, and you find a makeshift bivouac camp. Stumble across it. You see it pretty clearly, and you have options to kind of do some scouting and stuff before engaging with that. So
It has a.
let me know what you guys want to find.
It's a camp. You say yes.
Yes,
Do they have a fire going?
there are several fires going.
Excellent.
Oh, wait, how big is this camp?
I mean, we're talking about a camp or a settlement.
It's a camp. It's
It's not
You
permanent.
no.
So we
No.
want Yaya wants to know how many enemy.
Why don't you roll me a discern realities?
That's wisdom.
Yes.
That is a 6.
All right. You
That
get
is
an
a
experience point, and you can tell me how many enemy you think are in the camp.
50.
All right.
More than 3.
Am I able to
Well,
discern
actually, yeah.
reality?
I don't know. Like, how convinced are you that that there are 50 enemies in this camp?
Actually, Yaya's counting as 1, 2, more, many, most. So
Yes,
it's many.
That's not convincing to me.
And lots.
Lots is the top. So
Yeah.
there's many.
Okay.
Many.
Yeah. If Salvex is not really pleased with many as an option, you can make a check as well.
And that's intelligence,
Discern realities is wisdom.
wisdom, same thing for me. 5 and 1 is 7.
All right. So I'm just gonna go with the how many enemy. The camp looks
Deserted.
pretty empty. It seems like most of the bands have actually been sent out to do stuff. You can make out Probably about 15 goblins here and there scurrying from tent to tent at any given time.
Are there any orcs? I think that's the important question.
You have not seen any out in the camp itself, but you have seen many of the goblins running back and forth, toting large amounts of food.
Are they just taking it back and forth, or are they like running off from a central supply and eating it, or?
They're actually taking it to a central tent.
Okay.
Surrounding, actually, part of the bivouac, the wall itself, is made up of splintered pieces of wood, and at some point, you guys are pretty sure you saw a wagon wheel.
Oh, so they have put up a barrier, a crude barrier. Okay, cool.
So, hey, Salvex, if I load up an arrow, is there a way you can light it on fire? We can shoot it into that tent.
Do I have the if I put some combustible material in the end of an arrow, can I set it on fire, or do I have to conjure my weapon to do that?
You have to manipulate a flame that already exists.
So could I, I'm guessing it's daytime, right?
Yeah.
How visible would it be if I try to pluck a tiny flint off of the campfire and bring it over here to light that on fire?
You would have to make a defy danger to get in there and get it.
Well, no,
we could light it torch.
I would be bending flame to my will. Is what I'd be trying to do. It doesn't have a range. It just says, I do it.
Okay, so it's interesting because it doesn't have a range. That's a really good point.
Yeah, it just says when you bend flame to your will, roll wisdom. Roll plus wisdom. On a 10 plus, it does as you command, taking the shape and movement you desire for as long as it has fuel on which to burn. On a 7 through 9, the effect is short-lived, lasting only a moment.
Okay, are you going to? You would have to roll above a 10 because if you try pulling it, it'll last only a moment. It's going to poof before it gets to you.
Okay.
Are you going to make any attempt at trying to hide this moving flame from the goblins around you? Well, I'm assuming you're trying to steal it from their fire.
Yeah.
Kind of what I was thinking is I could fire it and then as it goes, have the flame jump to it in midair halfway there.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good idea.
And what are you trying to light on fire?
The tent that everything's going into.
Wait a minute, the supplies we're trying to recover?
The way I thought he was saying was that's probably where any ogres were.
Any orcs.
Oh. Orcs, that's what I meant.
I don't want any more ogres.
They hit like ogres.
We don't know how big the ogres hit. We killed it too quickly.
That's true.
Yeah, I think you had one hit on that ogre before it died, or one hit from the ogre before it died.
All right, so is this what we're trying to do?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so then you do your Zuko style and you do your attack roll.
5, 6, 7, 8.
That is bending flame. That's an 11.
Okay.
Nice.
And 9 to hit.
Okay, so you're able to make a shot on that tent, and it is going to. You need to make a choice on the. I'm not going to let you negate the damage by 1d6 because that's stupid. You can make one of the other choices: lose an ammo, or is it gain unwanted attention?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll lose an ammo. I don't want them to necessarily know where we are.
And that flame shoots up just enough, Ted, that it ignites the arrow as the arrow hits the tent. Within a few moments, the whole side of that tent is on fire. Goblins are screeching and charging out and scrambling for buckets of water and dirt. Some of them are throwing themselves on it, rolling around, taking a note from someone else's book.
Could as they're doing that, can I keep trying to move move the fire and go towards the goblins?
Oh yeah. Well, since you got a 10 plus, I'm just gonna let you if you want to just kind of you're flicking the flames out
I'm having it the fire's moving like fire does, and every once in a while it flares and it'll flare out towards the goblins trying to light them on fire.
Around,
yeah. I will make you make a roll for that. Yeah. Yeah. So as they're struggling to put this out,
to my will.
And as the like half the tent is catching really good, three pretty big looking orcs come just charging out, start screaming at the goblins, and like they're trying to put the tent out as well.
Are those orcs armored, or are they just in more like just
No.
have they dressed down because they're in camp?
Yeah, they're just dressed down. Then most of them aren't wearing shirts or anything, and they're just not armored whatsoever.
Cool.
Take him out.
Mr. Archer guy.
All right.
I think the rest of us are all melee.
So I'll do a. I'm assuming they don't know we're there, right? At the moment.
They do not. And with every roll, you can give me a defy danger roll to see if you can remain hidden. If that's what you'd like to do.
Which would you prefer first? The hit or the defy danger?
You are the hit. Because you're going to shoot, hide, shoot, hide.
So first shot is a 11.
Nice.
All right. And that's just on one of the orcs?
Yep.
Okay, roll your damage. And I
For-
got to look up my orcs. There we go.
8 damage.
All right.
Nice.
And then what do I do on defy danger? I haven't had to do that yet.
Dexterity roll?
Ooh, I like dex.
Because you're hiding. I assume that's a dexterity roll.
That is a 7.
I lost my pencil. I've had it this whole game and then suddenly it disappeared. My cat probably stole it. She does that. She's like obsessed with stealing things.
On a 7 through
Klepto cat.
9, you hesitate, flinch, or stumble. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice.
All right. You can be seen, or you can.
no,
in my head, you're on a tree. Are you on a tree?
Yeah.
Can you be on a tree?
What did you
Yeah. Can I fall?
Please be on a tree, right?
roll? What did you roll?
A 7.
Oh,
A 7. So you can be seen, or you can fall off the tree.
I would like to fall out of the tree.
Okay, my kid is voting for that too.
Good choice.
Vote for the peanut gallery.
Take a D8 of falling damage.
Oh crap! I've been rolling good on my D8.
You.
Hey,
yeah.
1.
nice.
All right. Your nimble elf features allow you to land
Half elven now.
half elf.
Yeah.
He dropped a part of his elf back in the dwarven stronghold.
They're slightly more rounded, so I was able to roll with it instead of stick straight into the ground.
He made that bargain, so he doesn't live forever now.
All right.
That's actually a really good way of explaining why you're half elf. You just go Tolkien-esque with it. All right, so now that you're on the ground and the camp is on fire, and it looks like the movement is moving away from putting the fire out and starting to move towards like
Weapons.
figuring out what caused this. Yeah, weapons and all that. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm going to keep trying to burn people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try and max out our ranged interaction with them before we wade in. They still outnumber us.
Okay.
He wants to hide under a bush so that when the orcs come charging in, he gets a surprise attack.
This is hunter's
Okay.
instinct. There we go. Good. Volstan is going to stand near Salvex, his trusty friend, and be ready to support. I mean, that's until we wade in. So I'll hold on and just kind of keep an eye out.
All right. Tassel, I'll give you another shot with shooting somebody if you want.
That's. Can I do it on the same orc?
Yeah.
So that's 10 to hit for 8 damage, and then defy danger is only an 8.
Okay. Gotta write my damage here. So 8 damage.
Yep. So 16 total on that one.
Okay. So with that, you take a shot and you narrowly get it through the makeshift wall, and then you dive behind a bush just as a band of 4 goblins come charging out from around the side of the camp, and they see
A shaking
Volstan.
bush.
They see Volstan and Salvex out there. Salvex, you get your Severus Snape kind of spell muttering thing as you're like making the flames look around, and Volstan's kind of you can't hide.
I'm a bright orange, red, and yellow serpent man. I'm
Right.
gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So
They definitely screech and charge at you. What are you guys gonna do?
I am actually going to cast Cause Fear
Okay.
and try and halt at least, because it's only one intelligent target that I can affect. But you said there were 3 goblins.
Oh, well, these guys aren't good choices then. Yeah, there's 4 of them.
4 of them, so I can at least make one of them give pause.
the closest one to us, so that if he stops, maybe they'll stop.
Yeah. So I have to designate an object that is going to be the source of their reaction, though, of their fear.
Me.
It says object, but DM, would Salvex be an object?
Salvex is definitely an object.
Okay, Salvex is an object. I'm going to cast the spell and try and make them afraid of Salvex, because, well, he's much more imposing than the fat cleric.
How does Salvex feel about
Who just
being
looks like dinner.
outside?
But all right, so casting spell. Oh, 4.
Oh man, well there's another experience for you.
So, Mike, did you send your dice to Eli?
I
No,
think
I
so.
didn't.
There was a mysterious package on my porch this morning.
Yeah.
I just drove by and left it there on my front door.
You're like, oh, I should use these dice for the game tonight.
I don't remember ordering dice. Okay.
All right.
I'm always ordering dice.
I would
You,
like to be. No.
You call your prayer down, and as you do, Salvex starts to twist and form and shape into this fiery demonic being. Volstan, you are currently afraid of Salvex.
All right. So, as I hold my holy symbol and mutter and speaking words of prayer, my eyes go wide as I back away from him. Ah, demon!
The goblins all kind of shriek and go, "Demon, where?"
There! And I point at Salvix, who's a
Uh,
fiery snake, and they might believe me anyway.
You just say they're not very intelligent.
They look at Salvex and they go, "Ah, demon!" And they like turn and jump and dive at the
At the bush,
barricade.
Oh,
That'd be good too. They dive at the barricade trying to climb over it.
So your spell failed, but it still worked.
It still worked, and now I'm terrified of you. So
Tassel and
the
Yaya,
important thing
either of
is
you like to. Oh,
the
good.
important thing is the spell failed, but worked on more than the spell could have worked on.
Right.
yeah, so I kind of failed forward very well.
Failures can lead to success.
There we go. And that is why I learned from experience. The more you know.
Knowing is half the battle.
Salvex and Yaya, do either of you want to do anything? Not Salvex, sorry. Well, I guess.
Are they clambering near where I am hiding?
How close to the fence are you hiding?
Right there.
Then they're pretty close because
Oh,
they're
then I'll-
climbing up the wall.
As they're climbing up the wall, I'll poke them.
All right.
That's a 10. It's 11. And that's 4 hit points.
All right. Yeah. Well, you're able to skewer the one of them and just kind of throw him off the fence. He kind of tries to scuttle away, but then just stops as too much blood leaves his body.
All right. Then I will shoot at the next ogre
Orc.
or orc. I do
Please.
that all the
I
time.
have
Even in my
3
games
orcs.
that I run, they transform back and forth all the time.
The orc that you've hit twice now, he's like figured out that someone's shooting at him. He's
Oh,
grabbed
he's still
the weapon, still alive, and he's charging towards the wall.
Okay, well then I will try to take him out. 14 to hit for 6 damage.
Okay, yeah. The first 2 arrows got him. One in the knee, of course, because you can't have a fantasy game without an arrow to the knee, and one, in the shoulder, and your last one catches him in the throat. He falls, and the goblins get over the top of the fence, and they go, "Ag, orc down!" And they turn and they jump back to your guys' side, uh, and start running toward you, but not really like flailing their weapons, but more just flailing their bodies in fear.
Leaning towards the
So,
enemy.
can I make any kind of attack with my fires, or am I just doing stuff every round off of my success?
I will let you go ahead and make an attack. If you roll a 7 through 9, you're going to lose the control of the flames, though.
Okay. That's a this is wisdom, so that's a 12.
Okay. So who are you trying to? Are you trying to attack like some of the orcs in the camp with the flames?
Well, there's now 2 orcs, right?
Yeah, one just got killed by Tassel.
Mm-hmm.
You've been tasseling.
So, do you guys want me to concentrate on goblins, or are we trying to get the orcs down and make the goblins run away?
Take out the orcs.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, because if they close with us, it's going to be a repeat.
All right. So that's
Yeah.
seven fire to an orc.
Okay. Yeah. So one orc is now engulfed in flames, and he drops and starts rolling around.
So as it's currently doing exactly as I bid, I'm keeping the flames away from vegetation.
Okay.
Only burning, orc and goblin and the tent.
All right. A few more goblins start to scutter over the tent, over the wall, the barricade, and then just like a chunk of it collapses as the orc who's not been damaged yet pulls a bit of wall apart so he can get through, setting his sights on Volstan. What are you guys gonna do?
All right. So are they're within melee range then, or?
They're like the 3 goblins that are running at you guys, terrified of something. So
I'm
you
almost
can,
tempted to let them just run by and not deal with them, but
I'm gonna keep trying to burn the orc.
okay.
Mm. Go ahead and roll that, Ted, since that's a really quick thing.
That is going to be a fail. That is a 5.
Okay.
The flames are no longer bent to my will.
One of the crazed flailing goblins like runs headlong into Salvex, and the both of you go clattering to the ground together. He didn't hit you hard enough to really hurt you at all.
But does
But
he
he-
take damage?
No, but he definitely like threw you off with your connection to the flames,
Okay.
and you're laying on the ground. Like
If they're running past us, I'm gonna take a swing at one of them,
okay.
just to try and see if I can remove some of their number. And that's a 7.
Okay.
My mace.
Yeah, you roll me the damage roll.
All right. 6.
Okay. This goblin's not even paying attention, and you're able to just kind of give a half-hearted swing and just crack him over the head.
Bam. Tap him
And,
as he goes by.
And as that happens, one of the goblins who's coming over the fence with the orc, he readies a makeshift bow and takes a shot at you for.
Yeep.
Oh, damn, I lost my goblins. Hi, dog. Goblins and orcs are not by each other in this book, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to find them. Here we go. That is
It's almost
D6
as if they're
damage.
arranged alphabetically.
They're not. They're arranged by like these different. They are alphabetical, but they're also arranged by like different types of monsters.
Oh,
But
okay.
for some reason, orcs and goblins aren't
Same.
even close.
They're not like even in the category of humanoid or something. Okay, what's
1d6 damage for the arrow.
1d6? Okay.
Mhm.
Two.
Yeah, orcs are under goblins are under cavern dwellers, and orcs are under ravenous hordes. Which is fine.
Alright,
It's just
It was 2 damage to me, so
Yep.
I got a bit of a scratch.
yeah. little wood. Like it's pretty much a sharpened stick with a feather at the end.
Yeah,
It gives you a little bit of a poke.
yeah, it's like ouch.
All right, Fragginator, what are you doing?
But-
Tassel.
I rolled a 5 to hit the flaming orc and missed.
Okay.
I
One
will,
not want to go to.
I will attack the orc that's climbing over the fence.
Did you get your experience for that, Fraginator?
Yes, thank you.
All right. As you let that arrow loose, the orc that stepped into the clearing is suddenly looming over your bush. And he is going to swing down at you with his... what kind of weapon does he have here? With his big old meat cleaver looking thing. 1d10 plus 5 damage.
Who's typing like Megan?
I was just wondering who was typing.
That's me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. And you've got an action, right?
Yeah, it's time to. So this orc is trying to take his cleaver to Assel.
Yeah.
Assel.
He just came in and slammed his cleaver into a bush.
Well, I'm going to slam my spear into his. Well. God, 12. That's a 14.
That definitely will hit.
Were you hoping for experience? You were like saddened by your success.
Yes, I've got a whopping 2 of XP, but hey, you know, you
You've been
gotta
doing
do
some
what you
killing.
I will hack and slash. I will not invite return fire. Actually, yeah,
Okay.
sure, why not? I'll return. I will heedlessly attack this
Yeah.
guy. So that's 9, 10 plus 4 is 14.
All right. You like. Okay.
Ignores 2 armor.
Oh, thank you. He has 0 armor anyway.
Well,
All right. You jam your spear into him, and as that happens, like he pops his arms out of their sockets and like rotates them, and like his head kind of does this exorcist turn, and his whole like body just sort of morphs to where he's suddenly facing you. And he just takes that cleaver and swings it down on you. D10 plus 5.
ow. Okay, that hurt.
Roll it.
Not an orc.
Oh, I did. It's a total. It's a total of 9.
All right.
Got to roll low on those, dude.
That was
I
lovely.
rolled a 4.
There's a plus 5, man. That's
So
a big.
does this
plus.
ignore armor?
No,
Oh,
it
that's
doesn't.
right.
It does not
It
ignore
does.
armor.
All right.
Oh well, in that case,
So you took
that's
6.
5 points of damage. All right, cool.
That's better.
That's
And,
better.
You're welcome.
You gonna sing us a song there, Ted?
Sing a song.
You're welcome.
Oh,
You have kids. You should get the reference.
I
Why?
don't know. I don't know. I don't think I know that one.
It's from Moana.
Yeah, it's from-
Okay. I think I've seen that once.
Okay.
So
That's one more time than I've seen it.
All right.
But I have boys.
Who's gone?
I think
I
that
lost.
was the end of the round.
All right.
Everybody's gone.
I took
Cool.
a swing at the passing goblin, and
Yeah.
smote.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and I whiffed.
And
so
the snake creature got knocked to the ground, but he's a snake creature. All right.
all right. So I got a somewhat burning goblin on top of me, or knocked me over, however you want to look at it. There's still 2 orcs. You know, both a little bit damaged, and there's a bunch of goblins.
And I would say both a lot of bit damaged. Like one's still on fire, trying to roll around and put that out, and the other one just took like a spear through his body.
And cause fear will no longer be active anymore, so I will not be terrified of Salvix. So
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Well, the shock of and awe of seeing the demon manifest, snapped me out of the spell, and so it stopped.
All right, so since I got a dude right in my face, I'm going to attempt to conjure my burning brand.
All right.
That is 7, 8, 9.
Okay. You get one of those features.
All right, so I am trying to be a friend to what's going on here, and I do not wish to start a forest fire, so I will remove the dangerous tag.
All right. So, Tassel, you've got an orc right in front of you, but he just kind of did this weird body morph thing, and he's now his back is now toward you.
The back's toward me, but the head's towards him.
I mean, I guess technically his torso is towards you, but his head's towards yeah.
So does that mean I can use my called shot to try and ring his bell?
Go for it.
All right. 3.
No, you can't.
Somewhere a falcon is struck by an arrow.
You get an experience, and your arrow, like, you don't even know what you were thinking. You just like take a shot, and it goes wild. But it kind of goes between the feet of the orc, and it actually hits Yaya.
What?
Thanks.
So roll your damage for Yaya.
Ow.
4.
Oh, good. It glances off my armor.
So it like pings off his leg and maybe hits him in the toe. Yaya, you've just received friendly fire, and you have an orc. His face is towards you, and his arms are like, in your direction, but his back is also kind of facing you.
Well, stab him in the back.
It's quite one of the most bizarre contortionist acts you've ever seen.
It's weird. Kill him. Boxcars.
All right.
All right.
You do get an experience.
Woo!
Which one is boxcars?
2 6s.
Oh. No, you don't get an experience for that. I'm sorry. I thought I was thinking 2 1s.
Oh.
Snake eyes.
Snake eyes.
That's Snake Eyes. Yeah.
That'd be Selvix looking at you.
I will not take the damage because I didn't like that last time. And I will just do 8 hit points of damage.
All right. You see him readying to just grab you and use you like a little halfling football. And you are going to kill him with this shot. How are you going to do it?
Spear. Well, I don't like the way his head is turned, so I'll just remove his neck.
All
That's
right.
weird.
This is an example of one of those moments where they give you a tag and don't specify. They have these special quality mutations.
Right.
So
So we got the Warhammer style freakiness.
Right.
All right. So
all right.
My action for this turn, I'm going to try and cast magic weapon.
Okay.
I can't. I won't be able to hit with it, but I can at least charge my weapon. So Volstan's going to hold his mace aloft and say a few words, calling upon his god to bless his weapon. And I don't think I'm actually a cleric. I think I just wear the clothes and say pretty words because I just rolled a 4.
All right, we found out that Tassel is rolling a D3 as one of his D6s. What about you? Because you've gotten the most amount of failures tonight. Are you rolling
just
proper
flipping a coin.
D6s?
Right here. These
On the
evil
bright
dwarves.
side, he's going to be like level 15, and we're all going to be level 3.
What are you kidding me? I got 3 XP. He's got like 9.
Yeah, I'm at 8.
Oh my gosh. All right. You are actually at legitimate level up experience right now.
I don't even need to fudge it anymore.
Well, he
But
needs one more, right?
One more, and you get to level 2. Yeah, with the
with the easy level up that we're doing.
but legitimate is for your first level is 8. And
I
he's
can
at the
see
point
why they
where-
would do that, though. I mean, if they're expecting you to gain XP whenever you fail, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
All right.
because I'm failing left and right, so the spell
Exactly.
does not go off at all according to the cast spell.
Yeah. I'm really tempted to just change your character class
Wow, that's a real fail.
as your failure thing.
As bad as I've been rolling. Yeah.
Hey, you could
Uh,
go Bard.
yeah.
I could go bard. Yeah.
Your god is pretty sure that you're putting shame to her, and you don't need that spell anymore.
Been
Oh,
oh, ouch. All right. Well, I didn't like her either.
Your dice have shown that.
Too much of the byproduct of the religion. Too much drinking.
Right. All right.
Commute
so,
isn't good if you do it all the time.
Real quick, I'm only able to summon the weapon, not be able to attack with it in the same round, correct?
right.
Okay.
So the goblin that ran into Salvex is scrambling to his feet and continuing to make for the woods, as is the goblin that did not get the cudgel to the head from Zolstan. The other 3 goblins that have climbed over the fence with the orc, they are falling back into the camp to try to rally around the orc that's still on fire. That orc stands up, his skin smoldering, finally able to extinguish the flames. What do you guys do?
So there's no longer a goblin on me.
No.
Did they put out the tent?
No, the tent is in full flames.
All right. I want to, actually, I want to, like, I'm not in currently any danger. None of my allies are at the moment either. I want to control that fire.
Mhm.
I don't want it to spread.
Okay.
So that's wisdom. So that's barely a 7. And I'm trying to contain it, but it says it's short-lived. So how do you wish to interpret that?
I would interpret that as like for the round, or for this.
But I'm trying to reduce it.
Okay. So you're able to sort of get the flames to recede a bit, and you're able to just hold that off for the next few seconds until you get to act again.
Okay. See, I'm Karen, dude.
I'm noticing.
All right.
Maybe that's the only way I'll get XP. But you know what?
Yeah, my lack of being able to get any holy magic to work is not going to go very far for convincing Yaya that God is real.
I was just thinking that. Like, puny god.
It's only the goddess of bees.
What are bees?
Pretty
Alright,
sure
so-
I missed again.
Now, are you rolling the D3s still?
No, I put that off to the side.
All right.
I just can't roll, so I missed again.
Well, go ahead and take your experience and lose an ammo.
All right.
And
Yeah, will.
I will pull my sword.
Ooh. There we go. Yeah, will chase after the orc and stab him.
Okay.
He'll say, Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
I have never rolled so many double 6s in my life. I need to go to Vegas right
Time
now.
to switch to BattleTech.
Yeah.
That's when they do need to give you experience for critting.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
do think.
Well, he
there's-
hit,
Okay.
but he's not going to gamble taking damage, extra damage.
Oh, what's the
So
damage?
that is a 6.
Okay.
Well, Kurt, your nerd is not as high as I would expect, because most of the time when people are saying they're dropping double 6s, a lot of D&D nerds are like, I need to start making characters.
Yeah.
You're thinking about going to Vegas.
We live in the real world. It's money making time.
My mind went BattleTech, so I guess
All right. That orc is going to give out a bellowing war cry and charge at you guys. The three goblins backing it up a few paces behind, taking a few shots with their arrows as they move forward. Valstrad, what are you doing? Valstrad.
Volstan is going to.
I think I say that name different every time.
I think
It's
so.
okay. It's
He's going to meet the charge head on and use his warhammer as he accepts his new oath to become a paladin.
There we
you
go.
No, I am gonna move forward and actually try and engage one of the goblins.
All right.
At this point, magic is failing. Time to go back to steel and wood.
When in doubt, hit something.
That's an 8,
Okay, that hits.
proving that I am not a cleric and am indeed a fighter.
Um,
And damage.
Mhm.
1.
You're a somewhat effective fighter. An ineffective
you-
cleric.
Fighter.
You charge forward, and as you run forward, the orc just puts out his arm and clotheslines you for d6 damage, and you fall and end up like kicking one of the goblins and knocking it down as well.
All right.
But no damage was dealt to it because I'm pretty sure they have an armor of 1.
I ended up taking more damage in an exchange than I inflicted. Okay.
Nice.
I don't know what it is about these games on Nerdarchy, but like holy classes just do not do well.
It's the curse of Nerdarchy.
Yeah.
It's what happens when we all play on Sunday instead of go to church.
I'm going to leave that one alone. So is that everybody?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to yet again try to contain this this fire. I want to see if I can put it out. That is a 9.
All right. I'm gonna say you're able to definitely extinguish the flames to a substantial amount.
So
Now
we-
it's all. What's that?
So it's no longer, fire chance.
Yeah, it's no longer this big burning flame. It's only a portion of the tent right now.
Until it hits the mead.
Yeah.
Save the mead.
The mead's in the other tent.
We can only.
I would even say at this point, with a little left around the fire to actually burn, it'll probably burn itself out at this point.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
Tassel, kill something.
Yeah.
All right. So,
And not ya.
how does working with my animal companion, now that I'm going to be engaging in melee,
So you both engage the target. You roll your normal roll. Add your whatever you normally would attack with. I think probably strength, and it's cunning.
okay,
Not its cunning. I'm sorry. It's ferocity.
it's okay.
Your damage.
Oh, add it to my damage.
Oh, it's ferocity to damage. That has to hit.
Nope, it says if you attack the same target, add its ferocity to your damage. Okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you roll your attack and then adds ferocity to your damage. There you go.
All right.
What was the instinct that you gave the animal?
Instinct plus flighty.
Flighty. Okay.
I figure a cat would be flighty. Seems
Oh,
flighty.
yeah.
All right, so 11 to hit.
That
And
definitely hits. And you can choose to deal an extra 1d6 or not take damage from the next attack.
I don't want to take damage.
Okay.
I'm pretty squishy.
This is
So
yes.
6 damage.
Okay. So yeah, you swing with your sword and is that with your animal's ferocity?
Yes.
That shot's gonna kill him. And you're able to like get under his blade, pull some like Legolas knee slide thing while he swings over you. How are you gonna kill him?
I would like to slide between his legs, slice his Achilles, and then when he goes down, just stab him in the back between the shoulder blades.
All right. And your kitty pounces on him and starts gnawing at his head.
Yeah. It's like, I
Hey,
didn't even need you, cat.
Then it once it's done chewing on him, it like grabs him and like drags him to the side, chews on him a little bit, like whacks him, pushes him around,
playing with
and
the
then
dead orc.
it leaves. You know, gets bored after a while. The goblins, the last two goblins, seeing that their orc master going down, take flight.
Is that all 3 orcs?
Yes.
That's all 3 orcs.
Woo!
They were goblins, kind of like watching from the outskirts of tents and stuff like that throughout a good part of this fight. That didn't really step in, and they are nowhere to be seen now.
Oh darn! I was gonna stare him down.
Well, you could stare one down, and it just goes, "Eep, demon."
Demon!
So I'll I'll slither into town, and I'll put out the last vestiges of the fire. Just clamp my hand over the burning tent, and begin searching around the camp and seeing what supplies I think we're on. We're on the caravan that we were guarding.
All right. Yeah, you guys are able to get through into the tent. In the main tent, there is like a makeshift throne made mostly out of like bones and rocks and bits of things that have been found. And surrounding that is just all kinds of treasures like gems and rings and coins, and it looks like someone's lazy version of a dragon's hoard, but not nearly as big.
Go ahead.
Each of you can receive 100 gold coins worth of loot from that. In the the tents that are more about more full of supplies, they have rotting, festering meat and all the gross things that orcs and goblins love to have.
And Yaya.
But and Yaya, it's plenty for Yaya. There are crates of mead, and it looks like they took great care to actually set these stacks aside and not shatter them. But you notice a lot of it has been consumed.
But
Just
not all.
Nope.
Not all.
Well, we can fix that.
So
I mean,
Tassel.
Volt. Oh, go ahead.
So Tassel, how trained is Whiskers? Can it be sent to deliver a message to the dwarves?
Yeah, I wouldn't count on it.
How much is here? Is there a way that we could makeshift a cart and that we could carry the stuff back?
At least a travoy.
Oh yeah, you could definitely do that. Whiskers is nowhere to be found, but you're pretty sure she went bounding off into the woods chasing goblins.
Perfect.
The cat will never
She's
be
able to fight humanoids, fight monsters, and search, but she's not much of a delivery.
That's not true. She likes to deliver dead goblins to your. She comes and drops one on your bed every once in a while.
Cat's gonna level up before I do.
So I would like to take Salvex aside and say, I noticed what you did, and you didn't have to. I appreciate, you using your time to save the forest rather than engulf it. I may have misjudged you, and I'm sorry.
Well, as I said, I would show you sacrifice. And I do like to watch things burn. But there is, as with everything, an excess. Now, there were monsters to fight. But there are many things in this forest that would go without homes, go without food, and it would be a danger to many if I were to just let this all burn.
I extend my hand to shake yours, kind of wincing, afraid it's going to burn me.
So I do my best to, keep my heat away from my hands as I shake his hand.
Meanwhile, off to the side, Volstan is having this crisis of faith. But I'm a good man.
Yaya will come up and help. Yaya will say, "Now you are strong, like fighter. Abandon your wimpy, puny god."
But this is what I do.
Yes, with a mace. It was good. Bring more like this.
There's this pained look on Volstan's face as he's actually faced with the fact that his goddess may have actually turned her back on him.
Volstan, there are those who fight for a faith. Could there be a middle ground?
Yes, it's perhaps I've chosen the wrong path. Perhaps there's a different direction for an old man with a mace.
When I was younger, I went through a trial, and
Don't they call that molting?
through the fire and through the flames, we are changed. And I look, and I bare my arms and point attention at many of my scales. There's all these arcane brands, arcane sigils that have been physically burned into my outer shell, however you want to call it. It is a transformation. You learn, you grow. Perhaps here you have learned that there is some disconnect between your actions, your will, and the one you serve.
Wise words, my Flamius friend. Well, perhaps I should rethink my direction. But food for thought. But we still have a task at hand, my friends.
So let us gather all that belongs to the caravan, and anything else that we might desire to take, and we leave this place in shambles. But I am bothered by that, and I point towards the makeshift throne.
Yeah.
Would someone smash that for me?
It might be seen as an idol to be taken down. Hefts his mace.
Yaya, smash!
Walks over. Yaya, join me in defiling this pagan idol.
Pagan idol. Pig? Where pig?
Yes, there's a pig under the throne. We have to free him.
Smash! Eat pig!
Start smashing the throne with Yaya.
Yes.
If I heard there was a pig under the idol, I would have been interested in helping too.
I'm hopefully Tassel's not falling for that.
All right, so we smashed the idol and
or the throne,
the throne, however you want to call it.
Which is it's both, right? It's an orc. What really bugs me is the transmuted orc outside, actually.
Headless.
Still freaky backwards orc.
Right.
So do we narrate that we're now back at the Dwarven stronghold with the supplies?
Or do we have to do another travel check?
No. We're pretty much ending the session, so I'll narrate that out and go over the last move we make for the end of a session. It is called End of Session.
Oh, look at that.
That's creative.
I never saw that coming.
So, with some struggling and some clever metal work from Salvex,
Oh, yeah.
you are able to make a makeshift wagon to take all the goods you can carry back to the Dwarven hold. Within the next few days, you make sure that your mission is completed, ending with you in Landon with the remaining goods you could find. minus minus a few bottles of mead that you pocketed for your troubles.
Especially since we're not getting paid since the Martin's dead.
Yep, that's very true. And the townsfolk of Landon seem very happy to have their goods, although very upset that it wasn't all of it, and there's nobody to pay for it. So they're good at that. End of session kind of works. Oh, is there anything you guys wanted to do? Say close out with your characters.
I would say my bond with Salvex is achieved.
All right. So each of you gain an experience for that, and you may have a new bond if you want. It does not need to be with the same character.
Oh.
So I sacrificed, sacrifice letting things burn to deal with his ideals. So I think I've earned his trust, and now consider him a right and proper companion.
So he knows the meaning of sacrifice by you showing him your sacrifice.
I was willing to allow any of us to come to harm so that the forest would not.
Okay. You guys both feel like those bonds are completed?
Do.
All right. So it's 2 experience for both of you. You can create new bonds if you like. It doesn't need to happen right now since it's not imperative to this. Anybody else have bonds that they felt like were completed?
I don't feel like I really made any ground on mine. There wasn't really. Salvex and he proved that I can trust him because he turned into a demon before my eyes and didn't kill me.
And
but
I feel he felt my strength, fully.
Yeah.
And again, it's there's that layer of trust that's been built there.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say this one's Salvex is a good and faithful person, and I trust him implicitly. We did fight side by side, so I guess we could that would be a way to address that bond. It's kind of an odd one to if you want to look at like achieving that goal.
Right. I guess if it changes and if it expands and there's another goal in place, it fits.
Okay.
Well, I think as far as I'm concerned, I think it's been met. I just have to come up
maybe
with
on Salvex's side.
on my side, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's like I now know that I need to hold back. I can't just fully unleash all of my power. So he's shown me control. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And I feel like with Salvex, maybe even those closing statements, during the whole crisis of faith bit may have actually deepened that bond where it's not just, he's a good and faithful person, but he's actually somebody to look to, and maybe, would deepen that trust. I don't know how we would transform that into a new bond, but I think that initial bond of trust and camaraderie is met. Yeah.
All right. So you
we'll
guys
figure that out later.
Get your experience for that for sure.
Like I need more.
And Yaya no longer is worried about Ta'asol being too soft now that he put down his bow and charged into battle with his sword.
Okay, cool.
You're worried about me being too soft?
Well, you sit in the back and plunk your little dinky bow and arrow. Yaya has no respect for that.
Not the mighty spear hunter.
Even the mage, draws a weapon of fire and goes into combat.
Yes, that is worthy. But when the bow hunter comes with swords and killed one of the orcs, now that he's no longer a soft little elf anymore. He must have gotten some human stamina in him.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
All right. So what else happens end game?
Well, Volstan, with your crisis of faith, are you still trying to convince Yaya that your god is the person he should be serving?
I was wondering on that, and I would say at this point, probably not trying to convince Yaya anymore. But
Needs to convince himself first.
yeah, I've got to. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I does that count as having worked out the bond? Though I don't know if it
Well, the bond has changed. Like you,
Yeah,
The
true,
bond
the
has
bond has
changed for
Yeah.
sure. So I would say yeah, and you guys can both take an experience for that as well.
Okay.
So if Volston turns away from his god, does that mean he's no longer a friend of nature?
Well, I can still be a friend of nature,
Okay.
but just not my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, I'll have to figure out what the new bonds are going to be, but
Yeah.
so, but what else happens in end game?
Alignment.
I think he's muted.
I'm sorry, I was muted. You're right. Alignment. Anybody do anything specifically that fits their alignment?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, has defeated a worthy opponent. Actually, quite a few worthy opponents.
Okay, get an experience for that.
So
I have indeed endangered myself to heal another.
Get an experience for that.
I absolutely was, chaotic. I was willing to, injure my companions as well as allow my companions to come to injury while I dealt with another threat.
Yeah.
Closest thing I got was endanger yourself to combat an unnatural threat. So I ran in with the last blow.
Those orcs were pretty unnatural. I'd say yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
And 3 questions. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Goblins suck.
There is no goddess of bees.
Orcs are apparently really, really powerful.
Yeah.
They hit like a freight train.
Oh yeah, and they have can openers for weapons.
I'm not gonna lie. I would say no because there was really nothing like that outside of a normal.
We learned that dwarves do not pave their roads with shields.
There you go.
Okay, that works. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
Does the
Essentially,
ogre that
did we
didn't stand a
fight a
chance
boss?
count?
We did not fight a boss now.
No.
No.
And
I don't know. I hit Yaya.
did we loot any memorable treasure?
100 gold pieces
really.
each. That's pretty memorable. I want to know who was sitting on the throne.
Yeah, that's. We didn't see any kingly orcs unless that was the one that transmuted. He just happened to be naked at the time because he didn't have time to don his armor. But yeah, that does leave somebody to be the next adventure.
Well, I mean, technically, my companions have a ring that I've shared with them. So, like, the idea was that was supposed to be memorable of our, of this foray.
Okay.
Yep.
I would. Yeah, that's a good argument. So,
I mean,
everyone
it's
kind of
literally crafted from the armor of our fallen
enemies.
foe. Yeah.
There we go.
We get experience for those too.
yes.
Oh, nice.
Every yes to those answers is an experience. There was 2.
Nice.
Jeebus.
All the more reason why accelerated leveling only really works in one-shots and not in full games.
Yeah, as I say, because I'm 14 XP at this point.
Right. Well, that has been our game of Dungeon World for today. You want to
Excellent.
send it out here?
All right, so guys, out there in the internet world, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game. Down in the comments below, you can let us know whether or not you want us to continue this story, continue these characters, and play some more Dungeon World, or what have you. So if you guys want to help me out, until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay
Hey, nerdy.
Stay nerdy.